Yes, everyone. I've driven all the way down to the South Country. I've dug him out from wherever he was. You've all been asking for him. And he's back. The sheriff is back. And I've no doubt he has got plenty to say, as have I. And as I hope some of you have tonight that are going to get on this stream and tell us how you feel. Yeah, it's not just about us tonight. There'll be some guests on at some stage. Okay? And you in the chat as well. If you want to have your say, the link is in the chat. It's about the 5th or 6th comment from the top. And there we go. Steve's come straight in. Hello, Steve. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Steve. No, still on mute.
No,
yeah, that's better. There you go, Steve. There you go.
Sorry.
No,
problems, guys. Sorry about that.
No messing about from Steve here. He's straight in. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I haven't got very long though, so that's why I sort of jumped on now. So
go on, mate. Have your say. Go on, say what you want to say, Steve, and then you can jump whenever you're ready. We appreciate you coming on, mate.
Yeah, firstly, love watching the shows every day. Great content. Tell it how it is. That's the way it should be, isn't it?
Appreciate it.
Well,
we're
bang in trouble, aren't we, guys?
I'm at work.
Yeah, we are bang in trouble. I just don't know where we're going to go from here, guys. I really don't. It's all right. I know it was Arsenal yesterday, but looking at some of the players' like attitude, Mickey Van der Ven, he was our captain yesterday. He's supposed to be leading by example, and he just was ignoring the manager's instructions.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous.
I watched the clip. Yeah.
You know, I'd expect that from like maybe Spence, but not Van der Ven, who's our manager. No, our captain, sorry. So guys, we're just dead. We're bang in trouble, aren't we? I don't know where our next points are coming from today.
Look, Steve, I haven't got any idea, mate, at the moment. And my head's still spinning, to be quite honest with you. And I wanted to do a stream tonight because I wanted to bring people on like yourself who you know, just tell us Steve, in your opinion, how has it got to this? Not just in the buying of players and stuff. Is it broken for you from the top? Is that how you feel about it? Or do you feel like, for argument's sake, next season a manager with 2 or 3 players, it might all be different? I don't know. I'm just, you know, putting things out there. How do you feel about it?
100% it's from the top. Years of like just Enoch as a whole. And we
it's
all
neglect, Steve.
Yeah, we all thought Levy was the problem, but it probably turns out that, you know, maybe he wasn't as bad as we all thought. But yeah, to be honest, yeah, it's years of bad recruitment, no planning, and to be honest with you, we're all, I mean, a lot of the fan base are calling back Poch for a nostalgia thing, but Poch walks into this, he's got no hope. He's got no hope because
Steve, it don't matter who walks into it, how it is now. Pep could walk in tomorrow. Yeah. He's got no hope, mate.
Yeah, and it speaks volumes that the Igor Tudor has been here less than a week, and he, not in so many words, but you kind of got the gist of what he was saying about the culture, about the squad. He's walked in and gone, "Oh, what have I done? What's happening?" Yeah, it's even he's like, okay, you know, I know we've got injuries. Everybody say injuries. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That needs to be addressed as well because it's 3 years now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And seriously, I don't know. I really don't know.
Steve, I don't think you're the only one at your wit's end, mate. To be quite honest with you, you know, I've been sitting here today thinking, how the bloody hell do we get out of this?
Yeah,
because, you know, Enoch have put themselves in this position. Big up, Dom. Enoch have put themselves in this position now, and they've got themselves to the position where we can't get any players in. Right. They've just brought an interim manager in for the next 12 games. If it goes wrong for him in the next 3 games and we've got 4 losses on the board and we are in the relegation zone, big up, Mike, do they then think, well, hang on a minute, we've got 7/8 games left. Do we try someone else to get us out of shit?
Well, they can't now, can they?
That's their only option, Mark.
Bloody hell, man.
They ain't got no other option, have they?
We'll have more managers than Forest soon.
Mark, I'm telling you now, if we don't get anything from Palace, from Fulham, from Liverpool, and whatever the next game is after that, he's in trouble. I'm telling you now, Mark.
Yeah, honestly, I was fuming in the pub yesterday watching that. The first half, okay. We kept them at bay. We looked sort of together. They didn't really have any chances, did they? Apart from the one they scored. You know, and I thought, keep it like this. Second half was the normal collapse, and I was fuming over the pub. I had some Arsenal acquaintances, I won't say mates, taking a piss at me the whole game.
I'm sure.
It cost me a pint of Foster's and a pint of cider and black at the end.
Oh, Jesus, mate.
That's £10 they owe me.
Yeah.
Well, £11.
Yeah.
Oh, it was shocking, man. It was absolutely shocking. In the second half, I just went outside and sat down. I couldn't watch no more of it. I was fuming. There's steam coming out of my ears. If it weren't for the fact that I won the lamb shanks on the meat draw,
it would have been a bad day.
Disappointing day.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, I don't know where we go from here.
No, it's going to be one of them things as we go on through the week. I know I'm sure people will come up with stuff. Do you know what I mean? What's going to make it change? But at the end of the day, you know, as bad as it gets, and whether fans think that people are not playing for the shirt or not, that to me, when you're under contract being paid the amount of money that these players are being paid, then, you know, there's only 11, 12, 13 at the moment that can dig us out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, the manager's only just got, you can't blame the manager.
No.
Fuck me, how can you blame the manager? You can't. He's been here for 1 game.
Now, I've told you a million times on this channel, I used to go to the lane a lot in the 90s, probably 92 onwards for quite most of the 90s. And we were bloody awful. But I'll tell you one thing, those players gave 100% and they played for this.
Yeah, agreed.
100%. I saw us lose. I saw us win. I saw all sorts going on. We weren't a great team. We were mid-table. But how I wish for that now.
Yeah.
My God, and I can guarantee you had people like Mabs and that on there. Steve Sedgley, I think. But you also had the Mavericks in the team, like your Ginolas and your Klinsmans. That was in the 90s. You know, and every player on that team gave 1,000,000% for the badge. They were like that. And you could see they were knackered when they walked off the pitch. That's all you asked for. You look at the second half yesterday, they ran bloody circles around us.
Agreed. Yep, I agree. Steve, is there anything else you want to say, mate, before you leg it?
I mean, I can hang on for a little bit more. That's
all right, mate. Yeah, you just drop out when you want, mate, and just give us a thumbs up.
Evening, Queen Ellie.
There you go.
Evening.
Ellie's in. I know Ellie's got a lot to say. I know she has.
Oh, God.
So, by all means, Ellie, let your steam off. You're more than welcome.
Well, I've been arguing in a WhatsApp group all afternoon with the famous Scott about the middle classes and the working classes in football. So this is a refreshing thing to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
Not to talk about that, to talk about our club and what we're doing. Right? Everybody knows we're in a shit show at the moment. Everybody knows we're not playing well. And whoever denies that is deluded, because we're not playing well at all. And it's not just confidence, it's just the way we're set up to foul, really. And I agree totally with Stel about the setup, 3 at the back with Paulinho as a centre back. No, Paulina's got to be in the middle. They just walked through our middle, guys. They were just waltzing through like we weren't there. And then he takes off Gallagher, and the one player who could have got us back into the match, who was playing really well, really, considering he was playing up the top on his own, was Moani. And then you got to go on the bloody goal that was disallowed. It's ridiculous. I was arguing with Scott about that as well. Because, like, you know, when you go for a ball, you naturally touch the other player. It's a natural thing. So he only touched him slightly on the back. He didn't push him, right? And then he does that theatrical triple lutz into the air, crashes down theatrically to get the ref on his side, and the ref falls for it, because referees are pretty dumb sometimes, aren't they? They really are. I mean, in that game, honestly, me and Phil, we were tearing our hair out for the decisions that were going against us. And Phil made a really poignant comment. He goes, well, Elle, look at Sky Sports. They want this championship title to go on till the end because it sells, it makes money. Yeah, and I agreed with him because it looked like we were being sabotaged. Obviously, Arsenal are a better team than us. We know this.
Yeah.
They're better football inside. But the gap could have been narrowed. With that 2-2, you don't know what's going to happen then. You don't know how the game would have panned out. Probably pan out, they still win, but there's a chance that we could have got back in it because goals lift players, goals breed confidence. Yeah? We've all seen it. We've all seen it when we've been down in the FA Cup final as well, when we were 2-1 down to Man City and then we scored a goal and then it lifted the whole crowd again. And then we went for it again. Right? And Man City were a bloody decent team, I'm telling you. Right? But I just feel so disappointed that the game went like that because up to that third goal, right, I think we weren't in it, but we made a few breaks with Xavi. He done 2 brilliant runs, but he had no one in support. Not one person. And he's going for the jugular, right? And he was out muscled. There was 3 players on him. And then there's 2 behind him as well. So if he was going to get through, he'd have to go through 5 players, right? But if we supported him, he could have laid off a ball and then got a ball back. You know what I mean? Like played the 1-2. But there was no one. There was no one. And that shows you that we're so weak as a football club, leaving ourselves that short with a player of that quality, and he hasn't got no other player of quality to play with.
Listen, Ellie, it was very similar to what it was under Frank, wasn't it, yesterday? I'm not being funny, right? We didn't have any out ball again at all. We had no one, like you say. Moani had picked the ball up or whatever, do whatever he was doing. He did a couple of nice first-time layoffs. He done one down the right-hand side to Xavi, I think it was. You know, it was definitely Moani's best performance, I think. Even when he was, you know, you could see him chasing down, you know, at times, getting a little bit stuck in. But was that the Igor effect? Because we haven't seen that from him since he's been here.
I think it was, right? And also I've got to mention that Gabriel, what a dirty sod. Right?
Oh, I can't stand him, Ellie.
No eye on the ball, right? He just cut across Moani and chopped him in half before he could get the ball. And I saw on Sky Sports, they said he wouldn't have made the ball because Raya was coming out. He might have made it, right? And that was a goal-scoring opportunity in my book because there was no other person but Raya. And it's always another defender has to be there for sending off, yeah? That deserved a red card in my book. It was really dirty. And he could have really injured him really badly. But lucky, Mwani's a very athletic player and he managed to sort of twist his body, but he came right across him. That's a dirty tackle. And that's a dangerous tackle in my book.
There was lots of stuff going on yesterday, Ellie.
Yeah.
it didn't take a lot, you know, and I'm not popping off at Arsenal because they beat us, but it don't take a lot for him to go down on the floor, Ellie. Look at Saka, you know, when he was down in the corner and Spence was right up behind, you know what I mean? Like right up behind him.
Yeah.
And all he's doing is jockeying him, and Saka's throwing his arms in the air. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I was on the watch along. I'm like, get on with it. What's the matter with you?
They used a lot of shithousery in that game.
Yes, yeah, they did.
That's what teams do when they're up and they know they're better than you.
You're spot on, Ellie. That is exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got 2 questions that I want to ask to both of you and to Mark.
Yeah.
The first one being the referee yesterday. Again, I'm not blaming the referee for the defeat or nothing like that. It just seems to me, just lately, you know, we're really not getting the rub of the green with refs at all. And I just wonder what your thoughts were on that, you know, the 3 of you and where you are with it, because I think Michael Oliver's a disgrace. He was a disgrace the other week. This geezer yesterday, Peter Banks, whatever his name is, he was shocking yesterday. I thought. But tell us what you think, people.
I'll be honest.
I'll make you laugh just quickly, Mark.
Let me go first.
I just want to make you laugh one time, right? Peter Banks changed the B to a W, and then you get the real thing.
There you go. There you go.
Go on, Mark. Sorry.
That's all right,
Sorry,
Ali.
darling.
That's all right, Ali. All I've got to say is, have you noticed when you're down that bottom end of the table, you don't get the rub of the green from the refs?
No.
You don't. Nobody does.
It's true.
Nobody does. Now, how that Moani goal was disallowed was beyond me.
No.
Never touched him. We'll get your super chat in a minute, Dilution. We just got to have our turns round about the ref and that. But you just don't get them. You just don't get the rub of the green.
The problem is, Mark, in what I call, you know, today's football, right? It's so non-contact.
Yeah.
Now, right? So everyone is right. I sat here on the watch along yesterday, and I said, I can't believe he's give that free kick for him. As you say, Ellie, because I've watched it in slow motion as well. He didn't push him. He literally rested his hands on the back. But that's all the ref needs.
Just one hand as well, not 2 hands.
But that's all the ref needs nowadays, Ellie. That's all they need. And someone like a Gabriel to go over like he's been shot by a 12 ball from 20 foot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I've just got to sort my dog out. A couple of minutes.
Right,
I'll be
Steve.
back.
Yeah,
no worries, mate.
All right, Steve. Yeah, it was like you know when the ballerina does their twirls and then they get caught by the fella, don't they?
Yeah.
That's what it was like. It was like woo bomb. Right, what a wally. He's a cheat. He's a cheat, and the amount of times they push and shove and pull shirts and really are aggressive when they have corners and set pieces.
Yeah.
You should have seen them yesterday, right? Maybe it didn't show up on the camera, but you could see the whole thing in front of you.
I saw they showed one, Ellie, that when there was a bit of a melee going on in the box before the corner had even come over.
Yeah.
And there was literally, I can't remember who it was, someone had hold of Van de Ven round the arm, and was literally pulling him round the penalty area, round the 6-yard box. All sorts was going on. Ref came over, went, come on, you lot, none of that. As he's walking away, they all started again.
Yeah.
Then the caller come in. Do you know what I mean? And whatever happened.
The question I've got to ask is, why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? Why don't we do it?
We don't do it. We're like, it's not because we're soft. I think we don't do it. It's a bit of fair play, isn't it? I mean, Bentancur does it, but the rest of them, not really. They're not really that aggressive. Danso is like solid, but he's not like one to pull shirts or pull anybody down. He's not like that. They haven't got it in their temperament, I don't think, Mark.
Yeah. Right.
Nah.
Should we crack on with the super chat?
Yeah, go on, Mark. I'll read it out. Dilution.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Really
Big up,
appreciate
thanks for
that. Cheers, fella. Thank you. He says, guys, I'm still fuming after yesterday. This is currently the worst team in this league, and I've seen it to prove that on form over the last however many games. We are bottom of the form table, right? So he's absolutely correct. We are the worst team in the league currently as it stands. To let the scum beat us twice 4-1 is unforgivable. And I did do O-level maths, but over the season, I think that's 8-2 over the season, 2 4-1 defeats. Yeah, he says it's unforgivable. Fuck these owners, he says. I'm fuming, guys. Comments, you two, on that from Dilution?
Oh, Mark.
We are the worst team in the league. We haven't won a game this year.
I know.
Since
ridiculous.
Ain't won at home since when, either, Mark, is it?
God knows, man.
Is it August or something in the league?
We haven't won at home. Since we played Brentford, isn't it? When we won 7-0.
Yes. Yeah, whenever that was.
Ages ago.
Long time ago. But
and what was that stadium built for? That stadium was the fortress. Get the players in, paid wages. Absolute bullshit, all of it.
Well, I'm telling you now, right? And I don't care. I'll tell you now. This lot, for whatever reason, right? And I'll say it on here, they're trying to get rid of football in that stadium. I'm telling you now, right? You saw my videos, the dilution of Tottenham. Trust me, as long as ENIC are in charge, that is what is happening to our football club. It's being erased. Whether something comes up somewhere else and another ground gets built and we become Tottenham Hotspur again without ENIC and it gets done that way, which I doubt. Yeah, but in the years to come, I'll tell you now, whether I'm here or not, there will not be football in that stadium. It'll be everything else but. And that's where I am on it. Ellie, I'm sorry, but for someone like ENIC and Tavistock and whoever it is to have all the money that they've got, misspend so much money, which they have done because we've spent a lot of money over the last few years and we've wasted so much money as well.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd say 75% of it wasted.
Probably, if not more.
If not more, yeah.
Ellie.
Well, you buy cheap, we buy twice. That's the old saying.
We buy 5 times, mate, not twice.
Well, no, I was being kind.
You know what I mean? We still ain't got a fucking left winger yet.
No.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? And we have one right winger that's fit, and we sell him. Whatever you thought of him, then the very next game, Kudos gets injured. We've got no right winger. So now we've got no right winger, no left winger, no ball player in the middle of the park.
No.
That's just 3 places.
That's criminal.
That we're absolutely bollocksed. It's crippled us going forward.
Crippled us, I know. And to talk about the ownership, right? They take away Tottenham Hotspur out of our badge. Are they ashamed that we're in Tottenham or something? They took our name away. We're just a cockerel now. That's our symbol. We're cockerel. Yeah. No Tottenham Hotspur. They want to delete the dilution of the team, the dilution of the club.
Yeah.
It's like mental.
Yeah. Yeah.
To them, they don't care because they're there for the money, like Mark said ages ago.
Yeah.
They made a statement. That's the first time I remember you saying that, Mark.
Yeah.
And it stuck in my mind that you were the first person to ever say that.
Yeah, because I never went, Ellie. I never went from then. I've never been to Tottenham to watch a game for 25 years until West Ham the other week.
Yeah, I know.
Because I hate them. I hate them so much. I can see, especially since Poch onwards, from Poch, you can see it all just going downhill, whether it's buying players, who's running the club. You know the club's fucked because there's no one upstairs that's got a clue.
I know. And we've got a gooner in charge of us.
And that as well.
Flipping
as well.
Yeah, that's a joke. That is. Whose
So,
idea was that? Whose idea was that to employ Guna? I mean, seriously, what are we doing?
Listen,
I reckon he's a spy.
mental.
I reckon he's a spy. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. He's come in and he's like, I'm going to fuck this club up.
People might say I'm overreacting here, right? This club's in crisis. I'm telling you now. I told everyone weeks ago, and it's ain't about I told you so. Yeah, but I'm telling you, and people in here have backed me up. I told everyone weeks and weeks ago that we were in trouble. And that if we carried on with the way that we were going, we were going to end up in a relegation battle. And if we get into that relegation battle with a West Ham, with a Forest, have we got the bollocks to pull ourselves out of it?
And you
As
said
I'm looking at it,
and you
no,
said no,
we
mate.
haven't.
No, you said no. I remember I was on the stream with you.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. We haven't got the bollocks. So it's not even so bad about being down there-ish. You know, when you're in and around it and you're 6 points clear, 8 points clear, it's no, we're all right. But now, the realisation hits home, because if we get nothing at Fulham next week, and Forest and West Ham nick a point, nick a win, we are then right in it with Palace and then Liverpool to come.
We never get anything now.
We're going to get
ever.
The thing, I watched Forest Liverpool in the pub, right? And Forest have a fight. They lost in the last echelons of the game, didn't they? In extra time,
Liverpool
right?
did have
But
3
they
goals.
played really well, Forest. You can see they're fighting for it, right? And that bodes well for the rest of their season, because if you're fighting for it, right, it means that you're going to get points. But I look at us and I think, where are we going to get points from? We're rubbish at home. We were early doors good away from home, early doors, and then it went ape shit, right? And I can't see these players getting us out of it. But I can see West Ham getting out of it, because they bought 2 players who play up front, and they played really well. They were unlucky to get a 0-0 draw the other day. And they've got players that can turn it on just like that. Like Bowen, he's a fantastic player. Yeah, he'll get them out of the stick. They're only 4 points behind us, and they're 2 points behind Forest. I reckon it's going to be between us and Forest. That's what I think.
Guys, do you know the game that I'm thinking that could either save us or send us down is, right?
The Forest game?
No.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea game, the second from last game of the season at the Bridge, right? I think that's the game that's either we're gonna pull ourselves, like save ourselves, or that'll be the game that sends us down.
We won't save ourselves there. We don't win there.
That game there that I think is going to be the pivotal game, whether we survive or we don't.
The Arsenal and Chelsea are the worst records that we've got away from home. Arsenal's the worst. Chelsea's the second worst. Even Liverpool.
Beaten there once.
Liverpool the third worst, and we're playing them
double.
Oh.
Yeah, I in my head, I'm thinking Chelsea is the one that's going to, like I say, determine whether we stay up or go down. Yeah. You can just see it. You know, like when we played the Battle of the Bridge, wasn't it? And we were 2-0 up, and it was 2-2. Yeah. And that finished the title off for us.
Yeah, that's right. Because we were on 4 points behind.
Yeah,
and then Leicester won, and we went 7 points behind.
Yeah.
Next question, by the way. We'll move on because we've had a good chat about that and the refs and all that sort of stuff. Next question. Excuse me. Can you all give me your thoughts on Mr. Van der Ven? On the pitch, manager barking orders over, trying to get him to push up. And I've watched the video. You see him look at him. He looks at him, and you can see Tudor going, up, get up, get up. And he looks the other way. He just looks the other way. And at one stage, he's calling him over. He's saying, come here, come here. And you see him start to come over. And he stops. Whether the game kicked off again or not, I don't know. But, I mean, surely, you know, whatever is going on in your own head, you know, and we all know he's thinking about leaving because of the state that the club's in and all that sort of business. I get all that. But again, he's on the field. He's on the field of play. Whether he likes what's going on or not, Igor is your manager. It's his first game, and all he's saying to you is push everyone up, get them up the pitch a bit. You know? I don't understand it. I don't understand why Tottenham players at the moment feel like they're in charge and the manager's not.
Well, Mark, I said at the beginning about Van der Ven, I said, you're the captain of the team on the day, right? Or is he vice captain? Possibly, I don't know. He must be. You need to lead that team. And if your manager is saying to you, don't care how long a manager's been in there, right? If your manager's saying to do something, you do it, right? But he just, like you say, he literally just stood there, blanked him. But this ain't the first time this season that Van der Ben's ignored a manager, is it?
No, it's not.
Back against Chelsea, wasn't it? Where him and Spence walked off the pitch. Yeah. And then he was arguing with the fans, wasn't he, at Bournemouth as well?
Yeah.
At the end. And that just screams to me like he wants out. He wants out. He's angry for a move in the summer. And to be honest with you, I like Mickey Van der Ven, right? But he ain't bigger than this club. So if he wants to go, just get rid of him in the summer.
I don't want no one here, Stephen, who don't want to be here, mate. I don't want anyone here who don't want to wear that shirt, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't.
If you want to wear the badge and be proud of it, do one. Do one.
Yeah.
Simple as that, no matter who you are.
This is where we need players. Like you said, guys, we need the players to be up for a fight. But when you see that, it screams to me like they don't give a crap. They want to. They're off in the summer whether we get relegated or not.
Yeah,
you know. And if we get relegated, they're like, "Oh, you got to sell me for cheaper than
just go somewhere else."
Yeah.
That's what football's about.
They don't care as long as they'll get their big money moved to like a Liverpool or a Real Madrid or something like Van der Ven, Romero, whatever. They'll go and they'll be like, I don't care. I'm earning double what I was earning at Spurs, and you know I'm in a team that wins stuff, and I don't care about Tottenham anymore.
Yeah, it's true. And also, right, I want to point out that Arteta gave a directive to press high, and they worked it to a T, right? And then you say like Igor saying for us to press high as well, and then Van der Ven's completely ignoring him, and they're just doing their own thing. And because he's the captain, all the other players see it, right? And then thinking, well, we're not going to do it because he's not going to do it. So why should we bother? So it's a knock-on effect. So it passes to the other players as well. And they think, oh, we don't give an F either.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that pressing by Arsenal was bloody sublime. But the thing is, what we did, we tried to pass out of the back, and we are notoriously the worst team at passing out from the back. I mean, our general passing is bad enough as it is. But when we're trying to pass out the back, and Vicario's faffing about with the ball, right, and he's kicking it straight back to them, right, because he's got something wrong with his ankle, apparently, because he broke his ankle against Man City. And he doesn't even take the goal kicks, right? And I just find it so frustrating that they can press us, but we don't want to press them when our manager tells us we got to press them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like player power, you know?
It feels that way, Ellie. It feels that way. Strictly, I've got to say, your opinion is your opinion, mate. I see it that they're just gradually washing the club away, mate. And Lee Payne, sorry, Mark, to just go back up in the chat. Lee Payne said, question, Cookie, are we being replaced by an NFL team? Right? I can't answer that, Lee. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I believe, we're going to be replaced by everything that's going on and more. It might not be next year or the year after or even the year after that. Yeah, it might not be for 10 years. But to me, they're phasing football out. Right? At the moment, Tottenham have got no shirt sponsor. AIA, gone.
They're gone at the end of the season, aren't they?
They're gone now, mate. They've pulled out.
Well, at least get a blue one then.
So they've pulled out. Right. So what I'm saying is now, we're where we are in the league. We are in no position, yeah, of being a top 6 club where you can demand, yeah, and you've got 20 suitors. Yeah, I want to put our name on your shirt. We'll give you, for argument's sake, I don't know, 10 million quid. Yeah, because now they'll be getting people. Big up, Jay. Big up, Jay. Now they'll be getting people, right, offering 2 million quid for that because we ain't that fashionable club no more. And if we go down, they'll be offering us 20p to have our name on their shirt because when we're in the championship, we're not worth a wank. It don't matter how big the club is. Yeah, if you're not in the league and you're not in the top echelons of the league, how can you command stuff?
True.
And all the money is going to get. We all have to look at the bigger picture, people. I know what's going on now, yeah, for these next 12 games, but we also have to look at the bigger picture. Because if this club goes down, yeah, don't think that we're just going to be some magic wand and it's going to come back up again, right? Because at the moment, this team ain't got no arse in it, ain't got no bottle in it, it's got no fight in it, right? And whether the players are shit or not, right, the least every Tottenham fan expects is all of those 3 things. And it don't matter, yeah, whether you're playing Arsenal, because if you're playing Arsenal, it's all those 3 things and a bit more.
Yeah, leave
when
it
it's
on
Chelsea, when it's West Ham, when it's Liverpool, when it's Man United, it's all that and a bit more. Because if you don't put the bit more in, you get nothing.
You get what we got yesterday, got battered.
Right.
So, early doors, Mark Cookie, right? We were giving it a little bit, right? And we were challenging Bissouma especially. And Van de Ven put one brilliant tackle in. But no Paulinho in midfield. We lost that midfield completely. They just walked through us. Like a butter through knife. Not a knife through butter, sorry. Right? And it was embarrassing. We can see it coming. We saw that second half coming. And they pressed us, like I said, high. And they didn't let us get the ball out. But the stupid idiots carried on playing out, trying to play out of the back. They were getting nowhere.
We've lost to our biggest rivals, like twice this season, over an aggregate score of 8-2, right? One player in Eze has scored 5 goals. He scored his hat-trick in November, hasn't scored or assisted since then, right, in the league, yeah? What does he do yesterday? Turns up, bangs in 2.
No. And then laughs at our
Into the
fans.
team.
And you saw it coming. I saw it coming. I was like, when he started, I was like, he's going to score today. I just know he's going to score today.
Yeah.
Right. Mark, do you want to deal with the super chat before we bring Jay in?
I will do, Jay. Just give us 1 minute, mate, and we'll bring you in to get your thoughts on yesterday and what's going to happen going forward and all that sort of stuff. Dilution, again, big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Thanks again very much. He says, going through every ownership in this league, and this is by far the worst. What is even worse, our fans accept this shit. Grow some bollocks and force these pricks out. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more, right? I know Jay, who's going to speak in a minute, he goes to the protests. I know he lives local to down there, but he goes. He's there. He's got a season ticket, yeah? He still wants to support his club. No matter what we're going through, he's still there every week. People are saying, well, why do you give him your fucking money then, Jay? Because he supports his team. He doesn't support Enoch. He supports his team. And whatever his views are and whatever anyone's views are, it's everybody's right to go and support their team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Over to you, Jay. Over to you, mate.
Just there, you made a great point. First of all, hello to everyone. I'm Jay.
Hello,
Big up,
Jay.
Big up, Jay.
Right.
Big up,
Big
Jay.
up,
I love
Jay.
you on
It's always
Savage
an honor
Show
to
as
be
well,
back.
man.
I was on a little hiatus from YouTube, but I'm back on YouTube now because
Yeah.
it seems like no one wants to really to address the things that need to be addressed, really. Unfortunately, we are in a position where I actually believe, that the only thing that will probably actually get rid of a bunch of these players, because they're not good enough. None of them are good enough. And in my opinion, I was at that derby last night. Yeah. Unforgivable. Every single one of those players. I don't like, no one can tell me anything. That is not a derby game. Yeah. That's a training match for them.
Mm-hmm.
We want to sit here and people aren't going to like what I'm going to say. This idea that we're a part of the top six, it's done. Get it out of your head from now. We are Tottenham Hotspur. We are a Premier League club. That is what we are. We're not a top six club. We're not a Champions League echelon level club. We're not even a Europa League level club. And we just won it. The board, well, we know they have blood on their hands. I can only say that for so long before I get tired of hearing myself. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
You know we're in a crisis. We are in a crisis. We have no players available. And you go into a transfer window and sell the player that won us the Europa League, albeit he's not good enough. You sell him while we're in an injury crisis and we have no attackers. And you bring in a defensive midfielder.
Oh, no.
And a right back, who, by the way, has seen 10 minutes of Premier League football since he's been signed. You would rather a left back, sorry. You'd rather play Jed Spence, who, by the way, in my opinion, I was furious. In my opinion, even though we don't have no one at right back, I would put him on the bench for the rest of the season. He should not touch another. The attitude stinks. Van de Ven throwing himself about. Why are these players acting like they aren't the reason why we are 16th in the table? Conte was right. They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under no stress. When it gets tough for them, they all down tools. Hence why we've had 7 managers in 6 years. 6 seasons, 7 managers. And what are we going to do? How long before we just decide that the players are not good enough and we have a poorly assembled squad? They've played under attacking managers. They've played under defensive managers. They've played under managers that play both styles. And they're still not good enough to get over the line. So why are we all ignoring the fact that they're not good enough?
They're mollycoddled, Jay. I see them in training, right? They all come out laughing, joking like nothing serious. I'd fucking get them running 500 million miles. Get them running, get them fit. They're not even fit to run.
Honestly, I'm looking at
they're
this.
mollycoddled. They've got luxury down there.
Unbelievable. That comment is brilliant as well. They're arrogant. Arrogant.
I know.
Arrogant. It's like they think it's our fault that they are where they are. We turn up. I was at Old Trafford when Romero got sent off stupidly. Whether you think it's a red card or not, you are the captain. There is no need to dive in. Don't dive in. The game is 0-0 and we're 20 minutes in. Why are you diving in? Yes, the day before, you come out with your big mouth talking about how we're down to our bare bones and it's embarrassing. Well, guess what? We're 1 player less now because of you.
Yeah.
And no one, and this is someone that these fans laud. He's the Lord. Oh, my captain, my captain. He doesn't even want to be here. So you know what I say? If we get relegated, for the fans, it will be awful. It would be awful. For all of us that go home, away, across Europe, wherever, it would be absolutely awful. But you know what? It would teach these lot at the top, a lesson. And now Daniel Levy is sat somewhere laughing because I hate to say it, but there is no way on earth that Daniel, and I hate that this is coming out of my mouth. There's no way on earth we go through January in an injury crisis and he doesn't attempt to sign at least 1 player. Did we attempt to sign anyone in January?
Well,
No.
Gallagher, isn't it? Just
Conor Gallagher and a
Gallagher's
left back.
it's a defensive
Just those two
midfielder
players who,
Yeah.
by the way, we
and
had an
3
open
kids.
run to because no one was in for them.
Yeah, that's true.
So we didn't even have to try and sign anyone. We've got 33 points available now for the rest of the season. There's 33 available points.
Yeah.
We have to go to Villa Park. We have to go to the
no.
Bridge. We have to go to Anfield. We have to go to Craven Cottage, and we have to go to the Stadium of Light. But somehow, some way, we're supposed to stay up with these players who don't even have the mentality you need in a relegation scrap. We will probably lose to Leeds. We'll lose to Palace. We'll lose to Wolves. Do you know why? Because they are built for relegation. These are clubs that when it gets down to it, all of these players will know in the back of their mind
That's
at
a
the
great
start of
point.
the season, we can
Yeah.
go down. There's a possibility.
Yeah, it's true.
So they would have prepared themselves from December to be in this position now. Oh, sorry, and Forest. And I know everyone thinks we're too big to go down. We're too big to go down. Mate,
No,
we
we're
can't
not.
even string 5 passes together.
Yeah.
I know.
Wolves got a draw against Arsenal. Do you know how they got a draw? They didn't just sit in and get battered and just let it happen. And are we going to sit here and say those players aren't better than that Wolves squad who, before that Arsenal game, statistically are the worst Premier League type side in history?
Oh no, you couldn't write this shit, could you? Fucking hell.
Only
Oh.
Tottenham. Only Tottenham can win a trophy, give you your greatest high, and then bring you back down to your lowest low in 10 months.
Yeah.
So
No.
Jay, I know you haven't got long, mate. What do we do? What do we do now?
Just
As
1 minute,
in-
mate.
Go on.
Do the super chat, mate.
Let me just do this,
Yeah,
Jay.
go for it, man.
One
Go for it,
second.
man.
Big up to Paul Brown. Sorry, Mark.
up,
I was fixated on talking to
No,
Jay.
that's all right, man.
Big up, Paul. Thanks for the super chat, mate. He says an incompetent, negligible board. Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, right. I don't want to get in trouble because I will say the word. Paul, you know, we've been saying it for a long, long time, mate. A long, long, long time. And many others have as well, Paul. It's not just us. You know, and I'm going to ask Jay now. Jay, where do we go from here? Try and answer that for Paul if you can. You know,
Big
we've
up,
just
Paul.
lost 4-1 to the Scum. Yeah. We're sitting here now. We're in 16th, 4 points off of relegation. Right. What do we do now?
Mate, honestly, listen, I'm at the point now where I believe that the season may be untenable. I genuinely believe that. And I have every right. Listen, I've gone to every home game this season, barring a few when I was out of the country. Maybe 2 home games I missed.
Yeah.
I've been to every home game. I've been to a lot of the away games. I'm telling you, this squad is if we put it like this, if we do not beat Fulham this weekend, right? If we lose to Fulham, we are in massive trouble.
I think we're in massive trouble now, Jay.
We're in massive trouble right now. You're spot on. But if we do not win next weekend, we could find ourselves sitting 1 point above relegation.
Yep.
We're not going to beat Fulham. We're going to lose.
Point, the season is unsavable because the players do not have what it takes. I'm sorry. Until they can prove otherwise, I don't know what the best thing for me is to just try and get draw for the rest of the season. Try and get draws, play for draws. We're gonna have to play for draws.
Just to get a point.
Just to we need probably about 2 wins and a draw. I'd say 2 wins and a draw out of the next 11 games. I'd say to be comfortable, to secure 17th.
Can you see those 2 wins and a draw coming in those?
I was about to ask you guys, out of the next 11
see.
games, which I actually know the next 11 games, yeah, because we have to play Fulham,
right?
Then we play Palace at home, then we go to Anfield.
Yeah, you're right.
What do we do?
Palace are a very good team, right? They play for each other as well, right? And they've got themselves quite into a little bit more of a safer position. I think they got 37 points, if I'm right. Yeah, so they're pretty safe as it is, right? And they've beaten us. All right, we beat them this season 1-0, but that was a scrappy game. Bloody hell, we just about won that game. But I can see that they've got players that can hurt you, and that Muniz on the wing, they've got him back now. Flip it, he's a brilliant right wing back. They've got Sarr scoring for fun. They've got Walton in midfield, who's a fabulous player. I can't see us beating them. If we draw, we'd be lucky.
Guys, can I just jump in? I've got a sheet, but great being on with everybody. And yeah, I don't know. We Sundays on
It's nice to meet you, fella.
Stephen, you know you're welcome. You can jump on any time when we do a fan show. We'll put the link in, mate. All right, you're more than welcome, mate.
Yeah, big up, Steve.
On with all you guys. Take care, and well,
Thanks,
we'll see you.
Big up, mate.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks for your input,
Cheers,
mate.
Steve.
See you soon, mate. Thank you.
Right, we got a question here, then, mate. From Mario. Question: If I asked you all now to put your hand on your hearts, are we staying up? I said it earlier on your show, Mark. I think we're gone. I see us picking up another 3 points, 3 draws from our last 11.
I'll go first if you want.
Go on, then, mate.
Right, so I'm at a position now where yesterday I wanted to see something, right? Because as Jay said, and as you've all said, yeah, it's been pretty toilet, right? It you know, at home it's been awful. Won a few away games. Ellie said that's died off, and it has, right? So I'm sitting there yesterday, and you asked this question, Mario, and I'm sitting in there yesterday, and I'm thinking before kickoff, yeah. And I told you all I went for 1-1, right? And I'll put my hand on my heart and say to you, I knew we weren't winning that game, yeah, from before even kickoff. The two standards of the two squads, and I was trying to find something, Jay, Ellie, Mark, that would sort of even it up a little bit. Maybe not get there, but even it up. So I came up with new manager bounce, 1, right? Obviously, new manager bounce, the players lifting their game if they've got it in them. Yeah, 2. What else did I say? There was another one. Oh, Jesus, I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, I wanted, you know, the usual stuff, the heart, the passion, all that sort of stuff. Put all those 3 things together, and rather than being like that, you might end up sort of like that a little bit. Do you know, it just closes the gap a little bit. So I wanted to see all those things yesterday. I didn't expect to see little triangles being played, Jay. And do you know what I mean? Because Tottenham don't work hard enough for each other in or out of possession. We just don't move off the ball enough.
The fans gave it everything last night.
Mate.
Seriously, that South stand, everyone, and by the way, to the Arsenal fans that think it's a clever idea to sneak into the Tottenham end, that's very silly. Don't do stuff like that. It's not to anyone watching. Please don't go to football stadiums to try and start problems. It's not needed. It's just, come on, we all love football. Let's just go and enjoy our teams play, yeah? But to the people that sit in that South stand, every single one of them, I have so much respect. You don't even understand. Yeah. Every single one of them, because they sung their heart out at 1-0, at 2-0, at 3. When it got to 3, when they scored the 3rd goal, I think that's when everyone kind of said, yeah, we can't come back now.
Yeah.
Once Arsenal get the 2-goal advantage over you, the game's over. Yeah. It's over. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, for us at least anyways, Tottenham. Not for Wolves though, but for us, yeah. They sung their heart out. Before the game, the fans were in the stadium, 2 hours before kickoff. Singing loudly. I've got videos on my phone. Yeah. Chanting, trying to get, and we've been cross all season. That place has been a cauldron all season. But you know what? We all decided to put our hurt from the season and put our prides aside and say, you know what? We're going to get behind the team today. Everyone's going to get behind the team today. Yeah.
All I heard from the TV, Jay, I was obviously in the pub yesterday watching it. All I heard, because the volume was up on the TV. All I heard was the Tottenham fans singing
Yeah.
their hearts out right from the
Indeed.
beginning.
And that's all we asked for, Mark.
Yeah.
We wanted
That's
the
all they asked
stadium.
for. That's what Frank had a go at the fans for.
Yeah.
That's what they have a
Yeah.
go at us because apparently we don't support our club. Well, we give you our support and you don't even give us effort in return.
No.
Yeah. Agreed.
You don't even try. If we had gone out fight and Kolo Muani, I feel bad for him. Because you know what? For a player who's not very good, he sure does try very hard. He does try very hard. And it's a shame when you've got players like that in your team, yeah, because you know what? You almost feel like maybe you should go somewhere else and actually try and make a career for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do now because the window's closed, so I can't even say call in reinforcements. Lord knows when if we're ever going to see Kulusevski again. Maddison's gone for the season. Kudus is out until around the end of April anyways. So we've got no Mohamed Kudus. Bergval's still got 5 weeks left.
Well, they reckon kudos end of March, didn't they?
Oh gosh, please!
End of March,
we need him. We need our players back. But by the end of March, it could be too late.
Could be
because we're playing really good teams.
So I asked the question earlier. I think I asked it, or maybe I didn't get around to asking it. I don't know. Yes, I did. Igor Tudor, Jay. I know. And
Yes.
again, please answer the question, Mark and Ellie, if you can, and anyone in the chat. You know, let's say, for argument's sake, it goes tits up, Jay. We've lost to Arsenal. For whatever reason, we get nothing at Fulham. Yeah. With our dreadful home record, we lose to Palace. And then he gets done by Liverpool. Does he go? Do they sack him?
I wouldn't put it past them. Just put it.
And the only reason I say that, right, is because it would be their only option to get someone in to save the day, so they think. But we know
Klinsmann back, you mean?
We know it's not going to be any different. It don't matter who you put in. You put Pep in there, put Klopp in there. It don't matter because the players ain't good enough. They're not up for the fight. And that's what I'm saying. So if the players ain't up for the fight, how the fucking hell do we get out of it?
The way we get out of it is the players that we have got that have got a bit of kudos about them. Start getting us out of it. Because you've seen it a lot of seasons, right, where teams have been down the bottom. There'll be one or two players who'll get them out of it, right? So we've got to rely on those one or two players who have got the kudos to actually hurt teams, right? But they have to perform each and every week. Otherwise, the rest of the team who are not performing and not trying, they're going to let us down. And it's going to go tits up. I can see it. If the players I think can get us out of it, right? Paulinho, Xavi when he's on his game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, maybe Solanke. Even though I don't rate him and I think he's bang average as a striker, he's come in and he's got 4 goals in as many games, right? They're the 3 players I think that can get us out of this. But the rest of the team, including VDV, because he's lost it, right? I think they're gone. So we're up against a big mountain in the actual team.
I think as well, a lot of the problem is, right, is that, look, if they sack him, they are incredibly stupid. That would be an incredibly dumb thing to do because what would end up happening is you would sack him and we'd have 5, maybe 6 or maybe 8 or 7 games left of the season. So you sacked him with 7 games left of the season. You're now expecting to bring in a manager who has to go away to Villa, has to go away to Sunderland. He still has to go away to Chelsea.
Oh no!
And it's like no matter what this club do, they set the managers up for failure. And this is why I'm getting sick of blaming managers. Yeah, we can sit here, we can say managers aren't good enough. 100%. Ange finished with 22 losses. He wasn't good enough. That's fine. But the problem is, The manager is a problem, not the problem. He's a problem, not the problem. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? If they sacked Tudor, it would be very, very dumb. It would be that would probably be the dumbest thing. The problem is Tudor probably should have been hired in around November, December times.
Yes.
And then if you were going to sack him, it should have probably been around now to see if he had done rot, if he was like, if the results weren't going and if you were going to choose to sack him, it would have been around now.
Yeah.
After the derby, so that you at least give the new manager a chance to say, okay, he's got Fulham away. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got Fulham away.
I agree,
He's got a couple of the fixtures ease up because he's got Fulham, then Palace. The fixtures ease up a little bit. So he's got 2 easier fixtures to kind of get a bit of momentum back. But man, honestly, I wouldn't put it past this club, man. I would not put it past.
That's the only reason I brought it up, Jay. I was just looking at it from the fact of, you know, especially from that performance yesterday and the West Ham performance that I saw. It was a little bit better against Newcastle, but it weren't great, to be fair. And I just thought I'd ask the question because we all know they haven't got any other options.
Yeah, mate. Perfect segue. Another super chat, mate.
There's a little super chat here from Ledley's Knees. Big up to you, Ledley's.
Big up.
Are we sure Tudor makes it to the end of the season?
No,
well, if you've got fans that turn on him, like, yeah. Probably. You know, I was listening to Stel earlier. Stel was just having a go at Tudor for yesterday, and I'm thinking, mate, when I'm sitting in my seat and I'm seeing the manager scream at our captain to push up the pitch and attack, help, show some fight, and I see him look at him and shrug him off like he doesn't exist, that shows me that no manager will be able to. I said it before and I'll say it again. You could bring Jesus Christ in to manage this squad. They just don't have anything about them. They don't have anything about them. No. They don't care. Because someone said in the chat earlier, most of them know, if they get relegated, I'm off anyways.
Yeah, they do.
So they don't care. They don't feel. And you know what? This is the difference between our squad and Arsenal squad. They've brought these players in, and a lot of them have come through their academy or they've brought them in. They bring in fans of the club and whatever, but they understand what it means to play for their club. So they have that. They have some sort of pride. Big up Danny in the chat. They have some sort of pride about them. Where is our pride? There is to do what?
We've got no pride.
There's no pride.
Big up Maz, by the way. Big up Maz.
Big up Maz.
And big up Dave.
And Dave, big up to you, mate.
There is no pride.
Ladies.
The reason why there's no pride is because the fans don't protest. If the fans had pride for their club, they would protest, but they don't.
Agreed.
So all of this this ENIC out, the board is a problem, and all the list nonsense everyone talks about. Not us, obviously, on the panels and stuff, right? They don't turn up, so they want it, and they want Tudor, and they want these players. So that's the reality.
Do you think, and this is a question for everyone, and I think it's kind of unfortunate that Spurs fans have to even go through this. It's like you have to almost choose between doing something that a lot of us have been doing since we were children, going to watch our team play on the weekend. You have to kind of give what we have to give that. I get the sentiment. It's like we have to give that up now. I have to give that up just for the people that own my football club to care. I've seen fans cry because of that, like genuinely cry because they can't take it anymore. It genuinely
but those fans that are
came
crying.
Home and I was so mad.
Jay, sorry to interrupt
brought me
you.
to tears, bro.
Right,
because I can't take this no more. I give everything.
The problem is, right? Is I hear this stuff and I agree with you, but those fans that are crying or upset or anything, when it really matters and you have to fight for your club and fight for something better, where are they on a protest day? I know you've been to the protest.
I turned up for the protest.
Right. I've been to the protests. Right. Mark's.
Hi guys.
Right?
Can you hear me?
And we all stand. And we all stand outside the club shop, right, with the banners and everything, and everyone laughs at us as they walk past. Right. And then when obviously Change for Tottenham, and we were doing that for years, and when Change for Tottenham, managed to get you know, let's say a couple of thousand people, I do wonder. And Danny was right. And Mark, you were there. You weren't very well actually that day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there, mate. I was there, man.
And you were there as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't be there. You guys know where I am, right? But guys, I do watch along. Sorry, I do watch along. Sorry.
Yeah, but and figure this out. They were more angry at Ange at that point, right, when they turned up than now. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, how fucked up is our fan base?
Guys,
unfortunately,
guys, that's right, guys.
Let me just finish on this, so I don't talk over people, right? Unfortunately for this, and a good show this morning, Mark, and
Thank you.
I've been watching this evening as well. Unfortunately, I hear we're all upset about what happened yesterday, albeit it was predictable that we were going to lose. Obviously, for obvious reasons, they're just a better side than us, right? But it's the manner in which we lost, and we're all upset about it. But the reason why Stelly's, I guess, acting the way he's acting is with good point. Is and I hate to harp on about this, but for 6 years we've been banging the Enoch out, Levy out drum, warning everyone where this club was heading, and it's gradually happened. Obviously, it hasn't happened immediately. We've gradually got worse, and when it came to a head was when Conte done his rant, right? And if you listen back to it now, it sort of sends shivers down your spine, because everything he says in that is so true, but it's got even worse since he warned us all, right? And that was the time when the fan base should have woken up, because you have an elite manager who wins, right? Who laid it all out on the line, telling us what this club is about, but no one did anything.
No, we hounded him out.
Vibes, right? They hounded him out. They didn't want Jose, who won everything, right? At the end of Poch's reign, people wanted a shot of Poch near the end, right? So
much abuse.
I don't have sympathy for the fans anymore, right? And
that's why I'm in now.
That don't deserve it, though, man. Come on, there's some fans
but unfortunately, those fans are the casualties of war. They didn't go to the front line to fight for the club. And this is a reality. And you see all these guys in the chat, right? Obviously complaining, right? If you're in England, for the ones who are able, why aren't you turning up to the protests?
That's true.
Don't go crying next season when we're in the Championship and moaning about this club, because you had an opportunity to turn up to the protests.
We'll be celebrating.
Eugene, just before you come in, can I just say there's still 110 of you watching this. Hit that sub button for us, please. 20 short of 900, right? I'm sure you can, I've been checking the stats today. Nearly 200 subs in 4 weeks, right?
That's good.
Let's get this show rolling. Can you hit that sub button for us? Get us to 900 tonight. Then we can work on getting to 1,000 and hit that like button. Eugene, let me hear. I'm going to go and get a drink, but let me hear what you
can I just say, Mark? Before Eugene comes in?
Yeah,
we've had more subs since I've been going to work, and you've been doing it on your own.
It don't matter who's doing it, mate. As long as they're coming
I'm just saying.
Happy days.
I do have to jet out as well, but I do have to jet out as well, boys. I just want to say,
Jay.
Okay, Jay, take care.
Lovely to meet a lot of you.
I'll send you a text. We're getting
And I just want to say before I go, listen, guys, if we do get relegated, I will see you at Swindon away next season. Take care, everybody.
I'll be at Swindon, mate.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Right, come on, Eugene. Have your say then.
Okay, it's so simple, right? Like what Mass has been saying, right? We've been doing this for 6 years, and it's for Son. When Levy came and said we got a Tottenham back, I went on a rant. You guys should know that, right? If you've been following me, right? I said I don't want this Tottenham. This Tottenham is one shit in 62 years. We haven't won the league title in 62 years, 63 years, whatever, right? I want a new Tottenham, right? So as I see it now, right? If we go down and get relegated, right? I think we will get that new Tottenham, right? But the thing is that the football, I don't know what to say, bro. Right? I think our fans, right, are we all have deluded. Most of us have got deluded pride because we don't know how to feel proud for the things that we have. You get what I'm saying? All what we did is this: we diminished the cup, right? A lot of fans out there talk about the 17 place and the 22 losses and all that, but they don't think in the context that he threw a lot of games away after January, right? So it is what it is. But we still want a trophy, and we still can't enjoy the trophy, right? Every time we have to fight about it. But now we have a bigger problem at facing us, right? We are looking at relegation, right? And to tell the truth, Tudor come in this Arsenal game with this type of shit players we have, right? When it was 1-1, I was doing the watch along. At the halftime, I said that if we are that wide open, right, we ain't gonna make it through. But yeah, in the end, they put it to us. And the worst part is, I think Ego won't be able to get a tune out of the important players that we have there, unless he gets a tune out of Romero. Romero might save his skin. But at the moment now, even VDV is ignoring him. So we see a lot of negatives all coming out. And to tell the truth, if you lose 5 games in a row, right? How many games do we have left? So I mean, he's already lost 4. So 4 more games. Let's say till the 7th game, right? Will they sack him again? If they do sack him, right? Who are we going to bring in? Okay. Because these players, right, need someone, right, to actually bring out a cane and smack them. You know what I'm saying? These players, right? I don't know what to say, but no risk. To tell you, right, I think these players are heartbroken deep down inside. That's what I feel. They're heartbroken. You know why? They went through that emotional bond with a manager, and we are so stupid enough to break that emotional bond. That feeling of winning, the elation, right? And in the end of the day, they didn't give him a chance, right? So I guess partly why Frank failed is because of that, and partly, I mean, to tell the truth, right? The writing was really on the wall. He couldn't even beat a PSG, right? Who has just trained for a week, guys. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't hold on a 2-0 lead, 5 minutes or 8 or 10 minutes left. So that was a writing on the wall, right? We all knew that. And then to tell the truth, coming in with a defeatist kind of mentality after when we had Ange, who just wanted to win, right? He didn't care. That's why he didn't care about defending. All he needed is to score. But in the end, that blew up in his face, right? But we still won a trophy, right? That's all I'm saying. Our fans are deluded with pride. You know why? We celebrate second spot, right? We celebrate second spot, right? What? We lost in the Champions League final, right? We lost to Leicester, bro, in the title chase. Leicester. Well, everyone was shit, right? We couldn't do it. So it all comes down to now.
And we went deep in the club.
Eugene, that's a poor example because no one else could beat Leicester as well, right? So what about the teams that were third, fourth, and they got the same argument? They couldn't
we
do
were
it.
third that season, weren't we?
I was going to say we were third anyway.
No, but we were third we were second for a long time.
Yeah, we were second,
right? We were actually,
but we finished third.
Yeah, that's why our tires. Of course, guys, we know our owners are the problem. We know our recruitment are problem.
Eugene was when we finished second.
Chelsea was the winner.
The Chelsea year we finished second.
We deserved to win it that season.
We did.
The fans wasn't a problem at that point. The ownership was a problem at that point.
Always has been, Maz. Always has been.
Yeah.
And look, I want to answer one of the questions you guys said earlier. Like what do we do as a solution to the problems we were having? My opinion
get relegated,
is this, and it probably because of my upbringing, because my dad was a disciplinarian, I guess. But what Tudor needs to do is he needs to make an example out of Van der Ven, right?
Yeah.
If that means dropping him. I can't hear. I don't know what you're doing, Eugene, but you're making a weird noise. If that means dropping him and making an example out of him and saying to anyone, look, I don't care if you're throwing a shot. If you throw a shot and you're not fighting for the team, right, then you're out. And if he makes an example of him to the fan base, right, the fan base will know Van der Ven wasn't fighting for the club. So you lay it on the line to him. You say you're either going to fight for the club and run through a brick wall, or you're out of the team and I'm going to make an example of you and tell everyone about it. That's the only option the club has got. That's the attitude the club needs to take now, right?
Yeah. Yes, we let the chairman
I would prioritize the players that are willing to fight and run through brick walls, regardless of their ability, as much as you can in this situation.
Yeah, I get that. I get that
Of course.
totally. Dave, how are you, mate? I don't think you spoke yet. Bit quiet
Nah,
for
it's
you,
all right. I'm just, I'm
Taking it
biding
all
my
in.
time. I'm biding my time. I'm bottling it all up.
Well, now you've had a night to think about it, Dave. Has your opinion changed at all, or and the same question to you, really, like Maz just explained. What do we do now? What is there anywhere to go? How do we get out of it?
Well, first things first, I still think we haven't got enough to stay up. We haven't got the players, the experience in this situation.
Yeah.
Just a little joke here. Can't wait for next season when Millwall come to town, have a brick lobbed at me flipping head. Looking forward to
Oh
that.
dear.
If
Don't,
you just,
mate.
you'll be lucky if it's just a brick.
Yeah. But no, my stance hasn't changed. I've slept on it, and I
Oh, yeah.
think we are in absolute mess. I said this on someone's post on Facebook earlier, and he was like being very like empathetic about it. It was like, calm down, guys. We all knew we were going to lose to Arsenal. Blah 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 blah. Calm down. Everything's going to be all right. And my reaction to it was, what have you seen this season that we're going to be okay and get out of this situation? We've gone through. We're going through manager after manager after manager. When are people going to realise it's not the manager's problem, it's the people running the show? That's the problem. You've got, in my opinion, we've got probably the worst scouting network in world football.
True.
Absolute torrid. What on earth? What on earth? I know he got Young Championship Player of the Year for Leeds when they were rock bottom, when they were like down there in the Championship. But what possessed them to spend £40 million on Archie Gray?
Brown envelopes.
Absolutely disgrace. 28 to 30 on Odebear?
Something like that. Yeah.
30.
Do you know what I mean? And
was
then
30
the only
mil,
one
wasn't
the only one I do get is Bergvall. What did we pay? 8 to 10 mil for him?
That's about right for
You take punts on young players like that, and Vuskovic is like that's
Vuskovic don't want
Vuskovic
to play
is
for us.
an actual scouting project that's actually worked.
Yeah.
We've loaned him off to a foreign club. He's absolutely excelling. He's looking to get. He's in the top 5 candidates of player of Bundesliga of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you look at the rest of them, and then I'm looking towards the senior players as well. Like, absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Mickey, sure, and I love Mickey van der Ven. I think on his day, he's a Rolls Royce of a defender on his day. But if he's playing for a move, he ain't going the right way about it. His attitude stinks, and I agree with what you said, Maz. Make an example out of him.
Yep.
Make an absolute example out of him, because at the end of the day, that's unacceptable. Like, he goes to do that little press conference after the game, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't reviewed anything. I can't really." I was like, "Hang on a minute. That's the first thing you should be looking at." Oh, do you know what I mean? Other players don't do that when they go out and they meet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Man,
like
just got no respect. That's all.
it's like he's got no respect, no care.
Disrespect.
And he's like, I get that. And Tudor, I liked his honest press conference at the end of the game. I actually thought it was a decent, honest press conference. He's got his work cut out, and he's called out the players for they've got to get out of these bad habits they're in.
I think in a long way round, he called the board out as well, mate.
Yeah.
To be honest with you know what I mean? In a very gentle way, shall we say, without being blatant about it.
I didn't hear his presser, mate. What did he say? Because I was in that much of a fume. I was outside.
Go on, Dave. You go. I only saw bits and pieces of it. Go on, mate.
It's hard to remember what he said word for word, but it was things like he said he was angry, he was upset, and he said, and he basically shot him down, basically saying the levels between.
He said the players have bad habits.
The players got bad habits, and you could see the difference in levels between Arsenal and Tottenham.
Correct.
I think he also said there's a lot of work to be done. He goes, there's more than I expected. He's got a lot of work to do.
He must have saw that second half. Yeah, he must have saw that second half performance.
Yeah,
and he would have thought, Jesus Christ, what have I signed up for here? What have I signed up for?
I wrote like an explanation on the Spurs Corner community page about what I felt about the Romero sending off several weeks back. Was it several weeks ago? God,
couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. And I put 50%. Everyone was going in on obviously Romero doing that stupid thing, which I agree with. It was horrendous. But I put the other 50. I put 50% of the blame on Romero, but I put the rest of the blame on the board and Frank at the time. And the reason why I put the blame on the board and Frank at the time was not because they done anything specific in that game or that they could have counteracted necessarily what Romero done in that moment, was because when Romero came out and called out the board, even though I agree with what Romero did,
he was not disciplined.
Yeah, he was honest, and I agree with what he said. Right, the club should be thinking, hold on a minute, no one's bigger than the club.
Yeah,
right. We have to have discipline in the ranks. Therefore, Romero, he either gets stripped of the captaincy at that point and then gets put to the bench as a reprimand. That then sends a message to the players that, oi, you've got to remain professional, and I don't give a crap whether we're losing or not. You have to remain professional.
You're pussies.
The club, but the club's inaction in that moment, when because it didn't happen once, he's done it twice, right? And the disrespect shown to the manager in that moment too, because nothing was done about it. No wonder you've got so much lack of respect, unprofessionalism. You saw that manifest between Tudor and Van der Ven, because there's been no consequence all season.
No,
there's no accountability.
No
accountability.
That's why 25 years, Levy has never had accountability. This is the problem with Spurs, right? We don't have standards and we don't have accountability. Simple as that.
Right, hang on, Eugene.
Let me just do this. Let me just do this super chat, and we'll come back and get on with it. Big up to Nige, Pure Courses for great show, chat, smashing it. Like and sub, everyone. Yeah, please do get us to 900 tonight. That'd be great. 105 of you still in here. Let's get them all to 1K. Yep. Sorry, I missed your call, mate. Don't matter. I was only ringing to see how you were anyway. That was all. But as long as you're okay, mate, it's just like doing the usual check-in. You know how it goes.
That is straight from this is the real head of technology. This man
is the head of technology. Yeah, I'll give him a ring. He sorts it out, work or not. So big up to you, Nige. Appreciate it, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, I mean, my question is now, is that what you were just saying, Maz, about Van der Ven? Does he get punished, or does he get away with it?
Danny in the comments said, "Oh, Maz, it's a stupid comment because we only got 11 players." I don't give a damn. Put the kid in. Put the kids in.
Yeah.
If the guy's not willing to fight, then he's no good on the pitch, is he?
True.
Right. So bloody, for all I care, stick Spence in the bloody central defence and put Byfield on, or the point I'm trying to make is that we're in dire straits, and you need to get discipline in that team and get them fighting fast. And the only way I personally know how to do it is by making an example out of him and putting kids in. You know what is interesting? I actually like Tudor's press interviews and stuff since he come. I don't know if he's by the looks of things, he doesn't look like he's a very good manager, but you know, we'll wait and see on that in the next few games.
Yeah.
So I'm not like super supportive that he's coming to the club because we shouldn't be in this situation. But when I look at Tudor's press conference, I actually like what he said. And the reason why I like what he said is because he said, first and foremost, that the guys need to train well and train hard.
Yeah.
I remember when Poch came in and he banged on about this in his first season. He goes, the players aren't here to play football, they're here to train. And then if they train well enough, then they can play. And that is how you instill discipline, right, into the team and get the players feeling that they're being rewarded for their hard work because they're getting the team. And you know, you're operating on merit rather than anything else. And that is what we need now. Yeah, but my concern is now is they've done this too late. Like they should have got rid of Frank months ago to fix this.
Yeah.
Another reason as well is why we've really lost our way, to add to everyone else's point, right, is we've got rid of all of the Tottenham people out of Tottenham over the years. Everyone's gone. They've cleared everyone out. The last person that was proper Spurs was Pleat, and he's obviously moved on and retired or whatever he's doing.
It's because he won't sell his book, man. It's because he won't sell his book in the shop.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The reason why I wanted Harry Redknapp back, right, and someone like a Sheringham or a Defoe or whoever, even Sherwood, right, at least they have some semblance of caring about Tottenham, right? And that is what we need. But like Phil says, I think it might be too late for all of this stuff now. You know
what as well, Maz? You know what as well? What I've noticed, right? You've got to care from the top to actually care, pass that care down to the players as well and the managers, because there's no care from the top. They don't care. So it filters down. And it's like a dilution right through the club. There's no caring. Like you said, bring back Sheringham, bring back Redknapp, who know and care about our club. Pleat cares about our club.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's true. These people, they want to make money. They don't care. They're not bothered. But if they go down and they start losing money, then you watch them ramp up the other stuff that they do to make up for the loss.
Yeah.
And like Cookie says, dilution, they're going to quickly, maybe 10 years, whatever it takes, he's saying that there might not be a Tottenham Hotspur left.
Yeah.
I think it could get to that.
They're all right because they've made their billions.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they bought the club for 22 million, and now it's worth 3.5 to 4 billion.
Yeah.
So they've done that. Well, they've done what they wanted to do.
That's what I'm saying. There's no care.
No,
they don't care about Tottenham Hotspur.
No.
You know, and I've heard different streams today as well. I've sort of tried to, when I've been at home, like when Spurs stuff's been on. I've been watching today, and there's a lot of just, I suppose, really negative stuff that's going on, and I think that the problem is that what's also been mentioned, Maz, and I don't know, or any of you, if you've heard this stuff today, but there's rumours that inside, even though we know it's fractured and broken in all its glory, that it's not being run very well from the inside. Sponsorship deals not being followed up on, all sorts of bits and pieces, people in the club that are upstairs should be doing on the football side, and they're not dealing with it. They're not dealing with even day-to-day stuff, you know, and apparently it's being run like a shit show. So it's not just the football that's a load of bollocks at the moment. You know, it's everywhere across the club, everywhere. And I just don't know how we deal with it. I know we have to deal with what we've got now in 11 games, but I don't know how we deal with it moving forward.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to work for some of the biggest companies in the world, work with and work for some of the biggest companies in the world. And what they do, regardless of the discipline, whether it's sport or any other industry, is when you have an area of the business that is failing, you bring in an expert with experience to be the leader. You scour the earth for these people. Now, you can't tell me that Tottenham can't go to a sporting agency, right? Or put the feelers out there to find top people who can come in and help them with actual pedigree. Not fucking Scott Munn from the other side of the planet, right? Someone with pedigree in Europe. Who knows how to close deals, or even if from America, right? Proper business people who know how to close deals, who are ruthless, right? To help run the club. I don't understand how ENIC, as a massive organization, well, I say massive, relatively big organization, right, can't bring in people to help them run the club, but they're getting real estate agents, like I don't even know their names properly.
Property men, that's all it is, man.
Yeah, property people and stuff like that who know nothing about football, making decisions. And then, a club like Spurs, where we're like ninth in the Deloitte Money League, right? We get record revenues in comparison to other clubs. And the best director of football is Lange, who got demoted at Aston Villa and had them in 15th.
Oh my God.
That's the best they can get. What?
Yeah, you're right. Big up Logan for the super sticker.
Yes, thank you, Logan. Really appreciate it, mate. Big up, mate. Appreciate it. He's always in here, Logan. Big up to you. Appreciate
Until he gets the train whistle. Did you hear that?
That's it, yeah. Yeah, I heard it, mate. Get in.
There you go.
There you go. Happy days.
Maz, I think they hired Lange because he's a yes man, right? And he's spilling out all this crap, this bullshit about summer and the January window. And you look, I saw Sava said it, I think Sava said it first. He said, you look at last year's one and this year's one, and they're identical, what he says about that January window. Oh, we couldn't get players in. No shit, you couldn't get players. You didn't want to get players in.
Awful.
They're liars.
And you wait till this summer, Ali. It'll be, the World Cup was on. Oh, the players are still in America.
It's going to be
that.
It's true. It's going to happen.
Transfer window.
What they should have done is got loans in. If they can't get the players to the line, they should have gone to the market and got loans in just to bolster the quad because we're in an injury crisis.
But
they don't even do that.
Do they care? Do they care about it?
Exactly.
No, they don't.
This is the problem, and this is why they haven't got football people there, because a football person will take a look at the league, take a look at the games coming up, take a look at that squad, and say, right, we urgently need to bring players in with absolute urgency. This is why I sort of blame Frank a little bit, and I know Frank hasn't come out and said anything, probably because he can't, right? Because of NDA stuff like that. But we don't know what the real goings on, what he said to the board. But this is why I love people like Conte, because when they leave, fine, they blow everything up, but at least you know what's happened, right? And it helps know what's happened. And I'm so angry at Ange, at Frank, right, and obviously all of the board. And Paratici and Flange and all them lot, right? Because we had the winners there. We had the Pochettino, who nearly got us to winning something. Then we had the Jose, who got us to a final. We had the Conte. We didn't back them.
Steve Mitchell as well, Maz.
Yeah. We had them there, and now all of a sudden we've got in these losers in charge, and another prime example. Sorry, I'm going off on one now.
It's all right. You're all right, man. You carry on, mate.
All right, you can go off on one.
Paratici came in, right, and the one thing, obviously, still, he's not doing it anymore. But he used to be a coach, and he went down to Spurs, and he had he met all of the training people there. What was his name? Who was the academy director?
Oh,
Can't remember.
He did say, I know he did.
Whatever his name is, right?
Mackenzie?
yeah. I know,
Right,
I know what you mean.
and Paratici and everything set all of that whole system up, right? As soon as Paratici left, what did they do? Ripped it all up. I mean, you brought the guy in for his expertise. He fixed it all. He put in a scouting network. He fixed the youth system because it was dog shit before Paratici came and there was all these problems. And what did they do as soon as he leaves because he got put in prison or whatever he done, what happened? They rip it all up. So that means it wasn't a plan. It wasn't a long-term plan. If the project lives and dies by the person who implements it, then that's not a long-term plan, is it?
No.
Short-termism.
Always.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we're in this state. And I called it out back then. I said, why have they ripped it all up? They had the scouting network there. And then they ripped it all up. And they've brought in dog shit since. And who do they trust to rebuild the squad? Ange. And look at the squad Ange left us with. Then what they did is because Ange
Won a trophy.
Loads of problems. They're bringing Frank. They're brought in 5 first-team players for Frank, which is unheard of for Spurs. Yeah. But all the injuries counteracted that, and there's no footballing people at that club to have a look at that January window and say, right, we've got 14 injuries or 13 injuries, however long. We need loans in quick. I don't like Phillips, but why didn't they bring him in just to bolster the bloody squad so we don't have to bring in, kids into the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
madness, absolute madness, guys.
Yeah, total negligence, I call it, Maz. That's where I am with it, mate. It's just negligent.
There's a few of our academy boys. They're good enough to play for our first team as well. There's one we put on loan called Yusuf Akram Hamrich. Yeah. He's a fabulous footballer. Honestly, you watch him, right, in reels. I've seen him live. He's technically brilliant. And they put him on loan to Bristol Rovers. Then there's Luca Williams-Barnett. Yeah. He's good enough now. I'm telling you, he's better than all of them, right? In terms of his technical
he doesn't
skill.
Play them. No,
of course they're not going to play them because they're scared of losing their job.
No,
because they think if they play one or two kids.
Okay, we come to the point now, right? The senior players don't give a shit. They don't care, right? So if they don't care, right, like what Matt says, the manager must have balls to make an example. Okay, I'm not saying, okay, I'm saying like the scenario when Romero came out and called out the board 2 times and he doesn't even get disciplined. Imagine if you work in an organization, right? Your subordinate or your employee, right, comes out and says, fuck you. You know, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you don't discipline him. Come on, guys. We have pussies running the shows. Yes, they, like what we all know, they don't know anything about football. And the worst part is they don't know what's respect.
Yeah, because in a normal corporation, Eugene, you get a first warning and then a second warning, don't you? And then you're sacked. Right? Yeah. So Romero's on a sacking because he's actually done it 3 times because he did it twice at the board and once when Ange was sacked. He came out and spoke about that, didn't he? Yeah, so he would have been sacked in a normal job. But like you said, there's no accountability. They're just letting them get away with it.
This is why I don't like. I know everyone's saying, "Oh, these players," and the players aren't good enough. Like I've been saying for a while, I don't rate the team as a whole. It's the worst bunch of players I've seen for a long time. However, there are some shining lights in the team, like Xavi, right? Like VDV when he wants to play. I think Adoji's got potential when he's fit and he's actually playing. That doesn't mean he plays good games every single week. I'm just saying he's got potential.
Paulinho,
yeah.
He gives his all.
No, but guys, we must see that, right? If the players don't want to play for us.
Look, I'm of the camp, right? I'm of the camp that the players are shit, but they're not relegation shit. But in their current frame of mind, where they just don't care about the club, they are relegation fodder.
Yeah.
And that's the problem we've got. They don't care. There's no professionalism. There's no accountability. There's no confidence, right?
Yep.
And that is downstream of the way the clubs run, the utter shit show that the clubs run.
Yeah.
And the only way I see out of this, guys, is they should have brought in Harry Redknapp and fucking Sherwood, Tottenham people, to be in charge, to say to them how things should be run and advise the club on what they should do. But they haven't done that. And this is where I'm really worried, because it's all very well Igor coming in, right, and him having his experience of whatever he's got. You know, he's a Croatian Sam Allardyce or whatever. But that, I don't think that's enough for Spurs. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, because he's got no experience in the Premiership. They were talking about it on Sky Sports, saying he's got no experience. He's never been down the bottom of the Premiership, right? So, and he doesn't know enough about the other teams. He'll have to do a lot of bloody research from that until when we play Crystal Palace and Fulham, because they're really good teams. Fulham and Crystal Palace, with the resources they've got, they do well.
Palace
We've
have dropped off a lot.
got massive resources, and we're right below them. I think we're 8 points behind Palace. I think a similar amount of behind Fulham as well. That's shocking for a club our size to be worse than them with their minimal resources.
Ellie, it's Enix neglect that's got us in this position. It's years and years of neglect.
Yeah, of course.
And that's all it is. That's all it is. That's why we're down here. If they wanted to, I have this stadium, as I must just about 1 million times I've said it on this channel, this stadium was the game changer. Pay the wages, attract the top players, push us up the league, all this nonsense. It was lies. It was lies. Because as soon as we built the damn stadium, all the top earners left. And we replaced them with kids on minimum wage. Not minimum wages, you earn a lot of money, but like, you know, for Premier League players, it's not top wages.
Yeah. Can I just, before Dave goes, before you say anything, Dave, still over 100 of you in here, and I'm checking the old subs count, and no one's subbing. I can't believe you've all subbed. So if you haven't, please do sub for the channel and like the stream.
Totally free, guys. Totally free. Share the link as well with your mates. Just send it to them. Say sub to these two brilliant fellas.
Yep, get out there, get subbing.
Drill.
Appreciate it. And see if you can get us over 100 likes tonight. We're always really close, 95s, 91s, 89s. Yeah, I don't know what we're on at the moment, I'll tell you. 77. There you go. 23 more to get to 100 and a few subs. We're always happy.
I better check see if I've liked it, boss.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
I better check see if I've liked it.
Go on, Dave. You carry on, mate.
I gotta check too.
Maybe I'm going to ask you five a interesting question now, hot topic.
Go on.
I want your honest opinion.
Yeah.
Do you think we would be this bad if Levy was still at the helm?
Yep.
I like to think that he would have cut the cord with Frank really early. No, I'll tell you why I think it would be different. I don't know how bad we would be. I don't think anyone could know that. But Paratici came back because Levy was there, right? Levy left, and then Paratici was effectively on his own, right? And he had to share the responsibility with Lange. They didn't listen to Paratici, so Paratici left. I would like to think that if Levy was there, Paratici would have stayed, and they would have got rid of Frank early because Paratici didn't want Frank there. So we would have a completely different scenario up until now. I also think as well that if Levy was still in charge, that he would have got in loan signings and stuff like that come the January window. Or
that was going to be the second part to my question. Yeah. I think he would have seen that squad, where we are in a position, where we are in the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
And I personally think he would have got the Akaluch deal over the line. he would have fought tooth and nail to get him down to the lowest penny down, but he would have got that deal over the line. Because I don't know where that one went wrong, because they got his replacement in place.
Yeah.
But just the deal just did not go, it just collapsed at the last second. And I think he would have got that deal done. But he would have looked at that squad, seen 12, 13 players out injured. He would have gone, oh, I've got, he would have had to step in. He would have had to step in. And like you said, Maz, I reckon he would have got a couple of loans in, maybe a permanent. I don't think if he was here, we wouldn't have signed that young player from, what was it, Hearts?
Yeah, James Wilson.
Yeah, James Wilson.
James
He was on
Wilson.
the bench. He was on the bench.
Yeah. I don't get it. I just do not get it. You've got so many injuries, and your answer is let's go and buy a 19-year-old Brazilian, young James Wilson, and all right, Conor Gallagher. That made sense because we lost Ben Tankurt. We needed someone to fill that gap. But yeah, again, no, this is the argument. Why is it got to take for something catastrophic happen to a key player, go down for us to replace him? Why can't you buy Gallagher?
Yeah.
Even if Ben Tanker's still fit, you need competition for places. It's always reactive, not proactive.
Yeah, true.
This is where we go wrong so many times, and I'm sorry.
We don't build.
The consequences of their actions, unfortunately, we are horrible feeling, but I think we are going to go down. I don't think we've got enough. We haven't got the mentality. We haven't got the ability. All our players have got a certain level, right? Every player's got a level. And I'd say 80% of our squad isn't Tottenham Hotspur level for what we need them to be.
What the stadium was built for, you mean, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Beyonce concerts.
We got trouble coming in here. Here he comes.
Yeah.
Hey, big up, Scotty.
Here he is. Scotty's in the house. Hope you're well, Scott. Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, I just came in quickly, like, to a little bit of revisionism going on about what we would do or not do under Levy. Like, we had how many transfer windows in January under Levy where we didn't get anything? We brought in who was I can't even think of his name. The guy from the Spain that was terrible. The winger, Dan Juma, the one.
Oh, Dan Juma, yeah.
Last year we were in 13th place, sinking in the league, and we brought in, I think, Danzo and Tell. Like, I think we have to watch out. Levy here, he would have done this or he would have done that.
That's true.
It's not revisionism. We're theorizing. It's not revisionism because it's not happened, Scott.
Well, but it's saying like Levy would do this, but we've seen in the past that he never did it. So why would we think?
No, not Paratici may have done it. We don't know. But you've got to remember that in the past, with the examples you're citing, we didn't have like 14. We didn't have 11 fit players at the time.
No, but we had needs that needed to be met, right? Like we had having needs just to finish better in the league and bringing in players to fix an injury crisis are two different things, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what though? You know what? We don't know whether Levy would have towed the same line as Vinay. Because remember, they're just the faces of the Lewis family,
get him out there.
right? So we don't know whether Levy would have acted, right? Because there's, like Scott says, there's no evidence to show that he did in the past.
But Ellie, we're not. Listen, we're not saying that Levy's the answer or ever was the answer. Or that
no, I'm not saying you're saying that.
They've asked the question: what might have happened if Levy stayed? And I think the best case scenario was that he may have pulled the trigger earlier on France, and maybe come the January window with Paratici there, they may have brought in more reinforcements. We don't know whether that would have been the case. No one knows, right?
The thing is, it doesn't matter who's pulling the strings at the club. The real people pulling the strings are the Lewis family. They call
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
shots.
saying. Well,
They call the shots.
didn't Levy hire Frank? He was
Yep.
there when
And
he hired him,
and
didn't he?
V9 and Lange, right?
Exactly.
Levy hired
Yeah.
all of them.
He
So all
hired
of them
all
should
of them.
go.
I think what happened last summer is not fully clear, right? I don't think it's fully clear who hired who and who did what. It seems like there's enough
I agree with
smoke behind. I think what happened last summer is, for whatever reason, Sherrington was brought in to start looking at Levy. So I don't know when exactly he stopped having decision making and when Vinay took over decision making. So
I agree
That's
with that.
dodgy
I don't
in
know if we can.
itself, isn't it?
I don't-
Nobody
Nah,
really
Levy was in
knows what's
charge in the
happening at
end,
our
right?
club.
Guys, they had to force him out. They had to put a ban on him for not even letting him go back
Yeah.
into the stadium.
Aren't they
Right.
investigating all these
Ultimately-
dealings at the moment? Aren't they auditing all these dealings?
Yeah, but ultimately, what we do know is that even if Levy was in charge, he wouldn't have had he wouldn't be the final person signing the check. The Lewis family always did that, right? So
yeah,
maybe
like
they
said,
said
he's
to
the
him, "Look,
face."
whoever you want to bring in, we don't. We're the ones who are going to make the decision whether we sign the check, or Charrington or whoever would have made that decision."
But it shows you what a balls up it is now, Maz, and everyone, because you saw on the overlap interview, he answered Gary Neville asked the question, about if he ever leaves and that, and what sort of state the club would be in if he ever left. And he said his answer was, "You'll see."
You'll be sorry.
He said he'll say something like what? Hopefully they will miss me when I'm gone.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what he said. They'll miss me when I'm gone. We don't miss
Guys,
you,
you're
Daniel.
missing Levy. I don't fucking miss him. He's part of the problem.
Well, I think now when you're looking towards the summer and stuff like that, if we manage to escape this relegation battle and we stay up, that board, the owners need to literally all come together and they need to make an executive proper decision, because there's no way they can continue on with Lang getting the players in and in charge of the youth system. He got sacked at Villa for a reason. He's terrible, absolutely terrible. And Vinay, and I was reading something about him the other day that his job's coming under scrutiny because he's failed to get the stadium rights deal done, which was one of his his overall major task to complete. He's failed to do. He's failed to secure more sponsors and future sponsors, and he's failed to deliver back in the first team. So he's failed on everything he's been set. He has to be first on the chopping block.
And there was an American guy. There was an American guy who came from Chelsea. Do you remember? Right, he was supposed to secure the naming rights as well, and he didn't either.
I wanted his job, Ellie. He was there for 18 months, did absolutely nothing,
I know.
and left.
Yeah, I think.
That was the biggest con job,
Chelsea?
This club.
In the end, you know what he recommended? He recommended it to be the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So whenever they do the NFL, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right, will be the highlight. You understand? So, and everybody will know the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where shit football plays.
I don't mind. I'll say it again. I've said it 3 times. Rob McKenzie, Chief Scout, me and you, 3 months each. We'll go and find the players. We'll see who brings the players, because you ain't fucking doing it, mate. You ain't doing it. Absolutely stealing a living, that geezer. Absolutely. Shocking, Rob McKenzie. I'm sorry. Absolutely. Sorry, carry on, everyone. That was my little rant.
Yeah, but I was going to say, but we're calling him out, right? We're calling him out, but his hands are tied by Enoch as well, because he's probably maybe he's finding players, but they're saying no, can't have him. You know, like our club, I don't trust them to do anything right.
This
Right?
is why I won't mention the guys. It's not his names because it's not fair. But I had a long discussion with a well-known YouTuber on the finances of Spurs when he was celebrating that we were only 3% or 4% down in revenue, and we were discussing the mix between revenue and wages spent. And I said to him, regardless of the constraints of the club, we have enough money at the club to slice and dice the pot however we see fit.
Yeah.
Right. And the owners have signed off on the fact that we've got one of the lowest wages for our size of club in the league.
Yeah.
For what we are outside of the top 6 teams.
Yeah.
And in today's age where you're trying to find and sign the best talent, you can't. How are you ever going to compete against an Arsenal or Chelsea or Man U, putting aside that the fact that they win things, if you're not even offering the same amount of wages? And fine, you might not win one deal, you might not win 2 deals, you might lose out on 3 or 4 or half a dozen deals. But if you pitch often enough, offering good wages, you're going to land one of the targets.
As I keep,
but we don't. We did that.
Yeah, it's true.
Mark, we did that, right? Lookman, in the summer we missed that. Apparently, we were like 1 million, 2 million short of finalising the deal in the summer to bring in a left winger. What difference would he have made throughout a whole season? It's things like that.
As I've said a million and one times on
massive
this channel, Maz, as I've said a million and one channels, wasn't that why the stadium was built? The false promises, the lies. When it was being built and Mr. Levy was on the telly, this will allow us to go to the next level, pay the wages, attract the top talent. It's all bullshit. All of it.
No, of course it's bullshit, guys. Of course it's bullshit. We built that stadium, right? And we expected the stadium to become a cash cow. But to tell the truth, right, that stadium became a liability because we had loans to pay off. You get what I'm saying? Look, okay, I do example, right? Arsenal. They built their stadium, and after that, what happened? They haven't won shit in what 22 years or something like that, right? So we are going through that stage. Our owners ain't going to splash out the money, the wages and all that, and the transfer fees. But that's the problem is our recruitment. We get players that are so under, the qualities. Most of the time, it's a hit and miss. Most of the time, it's a punt, right? And we buy youngsters, right? We hope that we can turn them around, but we don't have the structure and the managers to bring it through because we keep sacking managers. You get what I'm saying? So we can't build anything. So all I can say at the moment now, right? Whatever now is under ENIC, we can't blame Levy anymore. We got him out. We protested for 6 years. In the end, he's been sacked, right? So the bigger battle now is that if we really want change, our fans really want something to change in this club, we have to show it. That's the only thing. But we don't show it. That's why it's okay. And the show will still go on. If we get relegated, guys, do you think the stadium won't be full? That's the question. If the stadium ain't going to be full, right, if we get relegated, then maybe, that will shake them up. But at the moment, right, why do you think Frank was sacked? Because the money was getting less and less. I think they count the tills, right? The people might not be spending so much. And then we see, right, a lot of the times at home, the home fans walk out before the game ends. So all I can say now for us in this scenario as Spurs fans is either we show up or we shut up. Then just be in. But guys, I got to make a move, right? It's 4 a.m. I need to go and take my sahur because I'm practicing Ramadan at the moment. And you guys have a good show. Yeah. And please don't forget, right? Sub to the channel, right? And don't forget sub to Spurs Corner too. And of course to my channel too. The only Malaysian YouTube channel for Spurs, right? Spurs Version TV, right? Just to put in a bit of advertisement for us there.
Don't worry,
guys, take care.
All right, Eugene.
Take care, Eugene.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Take care.
Big up, mate.
All right. Big up.
Yeah.
Just to change tack a little bit. We know now, in the position that we're in, like right now. What was that? Who said that? I missed that.
Sorry, I was talking to my little girl.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's all right. Sorry, Dave. You know, the position that we're in now, is this a great time to protest?
Now, yes, absolutely.
For me, it's perfect. For me now, I want to get on the phone to the lads, you know, Maz, Billy and all that, and I want to say to him, this is what I want to say to him. Billy, organise it for Notts Forest at home. There's weeks to go to get, to get the word out there. I tell you now, Billy, I will walk down there from Manchester to be there. And I think Nottingham Forest would be perfect. And any home games after that they can arrange them, do it. Because at the moment, Enoch are fucked. They've drilled their hole so far as the football's concerned, that, it looks like the players don't want to get them out of it. And who is left to get them out of it with 11 games to go? So for me, now, if you're going to protest against Enoch, do it as soon as, well, not as soon as, in the next few weeks. Arrange something, make people aware, and let's get people to the stadium. Maz, I don't know, I know you've been on many protests. What are your thoughts on it, mate? Because
I feel really, I tell you, my heart
they are
bleeds
go bed.
that the fans haven't protested, and I'm all, I'm just angry about the whole situation, Cookie.
Yeah,
I'm beyond. I just remember. I think of people that I really care about, like Brian Daigle and Stell. Obviously, he was going down there, and you guys as well, right? Where we all went down there. I met Ellie down there as well, right? There was only 100, 200 of us, 300 at a push sometimes, right? And we were pleading for years and years and years, right, to go, and no one turned up. Now they're not even like we lost against Arsenal. And where were the boos? Not that I agree with the boos, because I'd rather than protest than just boo. But where was the protest after that game?
That's it, lads, right? They got rid of the booze, right? Because what they do, they sacked Frank, right? They brought in Igor, and it took all the heat off them, right? So all the fans, right, at the end, 4-1, if Frank was there and we lost 4-1, there would have been massive boos.
I hate to say this, but for years, the amount of resistance that we've had to the protests. It's only recently that a lot of the YouTube channels are talking about Enoch out and stuff like that. This was never a done thing. Up until last season, there were certain channels that were still, praising Levy and saying, oh, look, he's proved you all wrong when we won the Europa. I don't forget shit like that. I'll tell you why I don't forget shit like that, because I was always worried that something like this was going to happen in the future, and that it wasn't all rosy in the garden, right? And we've been proven right. So, in direct answer to your question, because I know I've waffled a little bit on
right,
it,
mate,
yeah, maybe we should protest, but will they? No, they won't. They've had their chance. How many chances are we going to need for the fans to go out there and protest in numbers? I mean, look how little effort it took Chelsea, Arsenal to protest against their club, Man United in comparison.
And they had thousands and thousands, Matt.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands.
Thousands and thousands. And now we're going to get relegated and not a protest in sight. So
I think we need to sort something out. Maz, we need to sort something out. I don't know how. That's why I say to you, maybe
it's this. This is the problem. This is the problem, right?
Dan, I don't know what else to suggest, mate.
Then why is he watching Spurs YouTube channels then? Protests don't work. All right, forget it then. Don't go support another club. I know it sounds harsh, right? But this is the problem in the fan base. Protests don't work. Protest is all we've got as fans. Yeah. That's the only thing we've got. It's like in politics. The only thing we can do as citizens of a country is protest. right? It's either revolution or protest. You got to pick which one you're going to do.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's
absolutely agree. Yeah.
My concern would be.
Go on, Scott.
I was going to say, Mike, and I, every time I talk about the protest, I caveat by saying it's easy for me to sit in Canada, not able to go out there and stand out there. So it's easy for me to say this. But you kind of said something that makes sense on both sides when you said it's easy to protest now. And that's the problem that we've seen in the past, is that when it's easy to protest, people can show up. But then what will happen is we'll win 3 games. We'll be 10 points ahead of relegation, and the protest will die again. It'll just be Maz, Brian, you guys there, right? And that's the problem that we have as a fan base, is we can't only protest when it's easy. We can't. Last year we protested when we were doing poorly, but then it said, oh, we can't protest anymore because now we're going to the Europa League. But that can't be the situation that a single game makes us stop protesting, right? Because nobody's protesting just to win one game. Nobody's protesting so we can avoid relegation this year. We're protesting because we want massive changes at the club. And avoiding relegation shouldn't stop the protest, right? That isn't what we want. And what we've seen too many times, and Maz is why I think, I don't want to speak for Maz, but why he's frustrated, is that people show up in the easy times. And then when it's hard, when it's not easy to protest, they go running away and forget about it and don't care about it anymore. And what we need as the protest is for it to be all the time protest, not just when it's easy.
Yeah. Well, I swear, if there is a protest at the Forest game, ticket or no ticket to the game.
Yeah, whatever game. I'll be there.
Whatever game it is, I'll make my way from Somerset and I'll sit in the coach and horses all day and have a few Amstels.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
You got to protest first, though, Mark. Don't forget.
Of course.
There's also, guys, right? What I've noticed, right? Our fan base. I look around, right? And I was in the Spurs shoppers the other day. I didn't want to buy anything. I was just looking in there, right? And I got a tattoo because I knew the tattoos were going to be being done, right? And our fan base has changed enormously. The amount of foreign fans we've got that come in is massive. It's a massive, right? And I'm looking at all the people buying, right? And I'm thinking, where are all the Spurs fans gone? Like, the hardcore Spurs fans. Then you get into the stadium and then you see them, right? You see them, but there's still loads and loads of fans that are just fans. I'm not saying they're not real fans, because obviously they do buy things and whatever, but they haven't got that love for the club to protest. Do you know what I mean? Like, we love our club, we want us to do well, right? And they're like fans that have jumped on the bandwagon with all this Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we've got the best stadium in the world and best training facilities. We had Sonny and we had this, that, and there was one other time, right? I had to go and pick up my ticket from the ticket office. And there was people there from Portugal, Spain, Albania. They were all talking their own language. I know a little bit of Spanish, so I could pick it up, right? And they said we had to come and see the stadium, because I started talking to them in English, right? And I goes, hey, what's your interest in Spurs? And they go, oh, we had to come and see the stadium. You see what I mean?
I promise you, Ali. I think it was the last game I went to. I was sat near the back of the south stand.
Yeah.
Right up the top. I nearly had a heart attack walking up steps to get there. But I was sat right at the back, and I stood up and started shouting, "Come on, you Spurs." And there was people looking at me as though some sort of madman. There was one of them sat in front of me. He was playing Candy Crush on his phone.
I know if you don't laugh, you're going to cry.
No,
because
I honestly couldn't believe what I was sat amongst.
like yesterday,
I just stood up and shouted out loud as I could, "Come on, you Spurs!" And there's people staring at me as though I'd having a fit or something.
And yesterday, right, I was with Phil P and his dad, right? They're flipping brilliant supporters, those two, and they've got a group of mates in and around them, right, who are lovely, right? And then I saw people leaving, right, at 3-1. And I said, They're not proper fans. Why are you leaving? Stay and cheer the team on till the end. You know, and the lady looked at me and she said, yeah, right, I'll get your point. Why are you leaving? Don't desert your club in their hour. We needed to cheer them on still. And it just went flat.
Yep.
And me and Phil and his dad, we were all cheering with a group of fans trying to G the crowd up. And this nutter started having a go at Phil, right, out of the blue.
That was a
Right?
wrong
And
move,
he's,
wasn't it?
do you know what I mean? I mean, I was telling him to go go and sit on it, right? And he was just, and then the security guard had to usher him out.
Good. Happy days.
Yeah.
At this juncture, I am going to bring the magnificent Phil Meister in. How are you, Phil, sir?
I'm very good,
Good.
mate. How are you doing, my man?
Hello,
We're
Philly
all,
Phil.
we're all doing good,
You-
Phil, I think. We're
Big
trying
up,
to get
buddy.
it out of our system, Phil. You know how it is, mate.
Mate,
Phil.
you sound a lot better than yesterday, man. You sounded like Kermit the Frog yesterday. I can't
Oh,
lie.
mate, yeah, it only takes a bit of sleep overnight, a bit of honey and toast, mate. Take the old tablets, away you go. You know how it is, Phil, on this channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just hearing Ellie, yeah, and I'm listening to it, and you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing legacy fan, exactly what the club called you over the years, a legacy fan, and I'm afraid this is what the club has left you. And this is, and unfortunately, yeah, they've priced out a lot of people, a lot of the hardcore fans have priced them out of it, and so a lot of them just aren't interested in even attending anymore. Because I went to the NFL protest, and there was only about 7 of us: me, Brian Daigle, Graham, and I have to say enough love to Graham because Brian, and Graham walked the streets in the NFL protest. And a lot of the fans that were asking us who were going to the NFL was like, "Who's playing in the stadium?" And there was no reference to Tottenham Hotspur whatsoever. So
Shocking.
Sad,
yeah.
man.
Same at the boxing,
these are the
Mark. wasn't it?
protests. These are the events here that I think that these people should protest. They're the ones here that are money making to Enid. Because when we went to the NFL protest, they basically shut the whole road down. The whole of the Tottenham High Street was closed down. There was entertainment everywhere, and you could see where the money's actually going. And that's why I went to the NFL one, because I said to myself, yeah, a normal match day protest, yeah, right, fair enough, you can do that. But I want to see where the money's actually going, which is why I went to the NFL protest, so I can actually see exactly where the money was going.
Yeah, fair play, Phil. Fair play. Phil, quickly, thoughts on yesterday? Why are you chatting?
Well, mate, I said it to you yesterday, yeah. If we play 3 at the back here, I would love to see 3 at the back here with only 2 centre backs. And Paulino,
Oh, no.
I said it long before the game, and I said
Disaster.
it last week. And I said it last week, by the way, that Paulinho being out of position and playing a centre back here will just give Arsenal the space to hit us in the midfield, and exactly what happened. It played out the same way that I thought it would. And
Yeah.
while I said it might be 1-1, yeah. In my heart, it was 1-1, but in my head, yeah, you can only see it as one way: Arsenal winning that game.
Yeah, correct. That is how I saw it, Phil. I went with my heart. I'll never do it again. I hate coming on here all the time, predicting a loss, predicting a draw. Do you know what I mean? And it comes across, Phil, as being so negative, and it does. And it does.
Yeah,
You know,
negative,
people
man.
come in the chat. Surely not. No, you're not backing your own team. And it's
It's
like,
not
Yeah.
negative, boy.
no, I can't.
No, the thing is, here, Cookmaster, yeah, it's not negative. It's just a realistic approach of the game. You can actually see the game, yeah, and just call it how it is. And people might think it's negative, but you know what? Negative and positivity is from within. It's not from somewhere without. And I'd rather be a truthful fan here than lie to someone and say to them, look, blah blah blah, and it's not true.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I predicted 5-0, Cookie.
Who, you?
I predicted 5-0.
Yeah, well, you're off your head, aren't you?
Yeah, you had too many hand skills. Do you know what made me hate the match even more? Is that after the match, right, I had to walk down to Northumberland Park, right, and I got bloody Arsenal fans down there. They were giving them priority to get on the trains, and we had to wait 45 minutes for our train, and I missed 2 trains because of it, and I had to listen to all those scummy Arsenal fans taunting us. Oh, it was disaster.
I think after that result yesterday, Ellie, they had every reason to be fair.
Yeah, of course they did, but you don't want to hear it.
I
After
know
you
you
get
don't.
battered 4-1, and then you're hearing all the Arsenal fans taunting us, and then they get priority to go home first. And I said to the policeman, why didn't they keep him in the ground? And he goes, oh, because the club don't allow that anymore.
Oh, right. That's good then. Happy
It was
days.
bad enough. I had to put up with three of them in a pub.
Ellie had thousands of them, Seymour.
Yeah.
I had thousands of them.
Thousands and
In my
thousands.
ear. And the bloke next to me, he goes, I really want to go over there and get some fish and chips. But they're open. He made me laugh because the fish and chip shop is where they were. And he wanted some fish and chips. Oh, my God.
Madness. Madness. Mark, can we go to the starred questions now, if that's all right? Just so everyone can have their say on the stuff that's in the starred.
It's the super chats, I think, mate.
Yeah, there should be some questions in there with a bit of luck as well. Do you want me to click on it? Here we go.
Well, I'm doing. There's one of the starred ones.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, they are all super chats. I thought someone had put questions in. There you go.
If they do, if they can put a queue in.
Yeah.
So
There was a couple from earlier
and it
on,
comes up.
Perhaps they've bypassed. It's all right, mate. It's all right, Mark. There's none in there. It's fine. We'll read all the super chats at the end again when we're done.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, mate. I thought there was questions in there. I saw a couple of queues go up on the thing. I'm sure. Let me have a look quickly.
I was feeling for Dave as well.
Yeah, you
Because
keep
you've got
chatting.
a lot of Buddha fans, haven't you? As friends.
Could have been ages ago.
I haven't got one Gooner fan as a friend. Not one.
Literally, I'd say 10 of my closest friends, 8 of them are Gooners.
Oh my God.
One's West Ham, and the other one is Man United.
Need to choose.
I don't call them friends; they're acquaintances.
Yeah, they're just acquaintances. That's it. I can't find it. I've just
as much as I love to call them acquaintances, they've been with me through thick and thin, so I can't say them for their poor life decisions, can I?
No, that's true. That's true. Listen, we're going to wrap up. We're going to wrap up because we've been on for a while. Go on, Dave.
Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah. Right, Dave, your question earlier, you said, wait till the summer. Yeah, don't wait till the summer, brother. It's not happening, dude. It's not going to happen. Spurs are not going to go out there and find world-class players in the summer.
No, they're not.
Don't think that. Please don't think that, brother. It's not happening this year. It's not happening.
Oh, no.
It's not
I said... I didn't say anything about the players. I said Lang and Vinay going.
Right.
First of all, with Lang, right. While he is here, I have no optimism with this man whatsoever. He is one tool. You know what I call them now? Both of them, Laurel and Hardy. Both of them, are both jokers, mate. Both of them, or what I said to Ellie the other day, Tweedledee and Tweedledummer.
Yeah, I said you that Dumb and Dumber thing, didn't I? Dumb and Dumber.
That's what I call them. Because both of them, are not fit for purpose. And if they're getting overwritten by the people who are the money people in the club, what the hell are they doing here still? Both of them, should be in the unemployment line with Thomas Frank.
Yeah, but they're doing exactly what the club want.
Right. Both of them, sat through a whole window, right? Like they did in the summer, and we have got no left winger whatsoever in that football club. So we are lopsided anyway.
No number 8 either.
Now, coming June, there is a World Cup. Now, I want to hear my man tell me again that he couldn't find any players, because I guarantee you in June and in July, when we see the World Cup, there's going to be left wingers and ball-playing midfielders in that World Cup.
Yeah.
Now you can tell me that you can't find a player. This is the wrong year for them to come out and say that rubbish.
Yeah, but what
Solomon will be great in the Championship.
There you go.
That's his level.
They've just covered their asses for the time being, haven't they? And I think they're just hoping they stay up. And Eagles another shield as usual, isn't it? It's just the same old, isn't it? Until the summer, and then away you go again. Oh, we've got a plan. We're bringing in we're doing. They ain't got no plan, mate. They ain't got no plan. They ain't got a
You
fucking
know what?
clue.
I feel sorry for any manager that comes in there working for them two, yeah. And I wouldn't work that on my worst enemy, brother. Because them
They've
two,
got a
yeah,
plan. They've got a plan to boost their personal wealths. That's their
Probably.
plan.
Probably.
Right, are we
it.
going to whiz through the super chats, mate?
Yeah, we'll do the super chats. Just say thank you to everyone. There we go. There's Dilution. Big up
Thank
to
you.
Dilution for sending that
Thank
one
you,
in.
Dilution.
Big up to you, mate. And I think he's
And
done another
again.
one as well.
And again.
Yeah. If anyone wants to answer any of these when we brought them up earlier and you weren't on, by all means do so.
I'll go back to the first one then. There's the
There
first
you go.
one.
If anyone's got anything to say about that one, I think that says it all, really. There you go, from Dilution.
I thought nothing.
Oh,
8-2. 8-2 on aggregate.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I felt nothing yesterday. As a fan, yeah, I felt absolutely nothing from the Arsenal-Tottenham game. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel any anger. I felt nothing whatsoever.
Big up Dilution again for that.
There's
That's
only
Dilution's
one.
second one.
There's only one plus you can take, right? We haven't got any worse, and they haven't got any better because both scores were 4-1.
Yeah, there you go.
So they were waiting
There
in the
you
first
go.
half.
From it.
Big up to Dilution. Big up to Dilution for the first two, for the two super chats he sent in. Big up to you, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, big up
Paul Brown. Paul
Question.
Brown. Yeah. Ledley's knees. Absolutely. Big up to you, Ledley. We appreciate it,
That's a
mate.
good name.
The head of
1 from 9.
technology.
Yeah.
The head of technology.
Big up to you, mate. Big
Yeah,
up,
big
Nigel.
up, Nige.
Thank you, mate.
And Logan.
Logan with a super sticker. Great stuff. Great stuff. Listen, I think we're going to wrap it up tonight. We're back in the morning, I think both of us, for the breakfast brunch. So make sure you get over there in the morning, 9:30. Please make sure that you get over to Spurs Corner and sub to Maz, because it's been very interesting tonight what he's got to say. And get over to Philly. He's got his film channel rolling now. Go on, Phil. Spit it out again for us because it's not on the screen.
Yeah, BMGT. That's where I talk about movies, games, television. A nice, relaxing break from Tottenham Hotspurs. It's a good detox. Coming over. I did a video last week, a little short last week, and I'm going to try and do another video this week as well.
Yeah,
where I'm going to talk about what's coming out, because there's quite a few good movies coming out this year, and I'm hoping to have the Cookmaster on. We had lovely Ellie on before, and hopefully she'll come on again. Cookmaster, I want to come back on as well.
Yeah,
and talk about Rocky.
Oh yeah,
and, yeah.
Big up, Phil.
Guys,
Big up to you,
I've
mate.
got a quick one before I jump off. I've got to jump off. I've got to sort my kids out.
Go on then, mate.
Right. I've got a question for the panel in the chat. I've got my kids in the colours, right? Is it raising them right, or is it child abuse? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Oh, even my own son knows the score. Right, anyways,
what are you doing to them kids, mate? What are you doing to them kids?
I'm trying to raise them right. Get them in the colours, but anyways, I bet I've got to shoot, so I've got to get them all sorted in the bathroom ready for bed. But
haven't with Enoch out on this.
That's it. Yeah, get Enoch out on the back, Dave.
yeah, I've got to get him a new one. Turn around. He's got his name and his age on there, so yeah. So
big up, Arthur. Big up, mate. Big up to you, Arthur. Happy days, anyway.
Anyways, guys, thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Next time you're on, I'll jump on again, like always. Yeah.
You're more than welcome anytime you like, Dave.
Thank you very much, guys.
Like.
Appreciate it.
There's Phil's channel there. There's Phil's channel at the bottom there. Get over to Phil. Get him at least 10 subs. There's 80 of you in here. Get 10 over there at least.
Danny's got a question for Maz.
There you go, Maz. Why don't you do a show too?
Oh, don't have the energy.
Come on, Maz.
He's on the Spurs corner.
He's on the corner.
There you go.
There's the Spurs corner. Get over there. Get the lads to sub over there as well.
I was looking for their links.
Big up to Ellie for coming on, as always.
Thank you,
I send Ellie a text. She says, yeah, I'm on. If she's available, she's on. And you, Scott. Big up to you, mate. Big up to Maz for coming on. Nice surprise, that, Maz. You're more than welcome anytime, mate.
Anytime,
welcome. Dave, as always, brilliant. Philly, top geezer. What can I say about you, mate? You're always on. I'll give you a shout and you always jump on. All the chat been brilliant tonight. It's been a really good show. Been fantastic. Get subscribe to us as well. I think you've been a bit tight on subscribers tonight.
I think you're one, mate.
Yeah, unless my phone's going up the wall, it ain't moved. I don't know.
Hold on, wait a minute. Don't forget to hype the videos as well, yeah, because you want to have videos going out there to as many people as possible. So hype the videos as well when my good mate, the cookmaster and the sheriff put the videos out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So anyway, look, subscribe to everyone. Been a great show. Hit the subscribe for everyone. Hit the like for everyone. Have a lovely evening. We'll be back at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Big up and thank you to all.
You will be, mate.
Too much, Sean.
Big up to all of you lot for coming on tonight. Really appreciate it. It's been a really good time. Big up to all the chat as well. We'll see you all soon. You take care. Are you hitting it or am I?
I'll do it, mate, if you want.
Right, he's doing it then. See you all soon. And as always, come on, you Spurs!
Oh, you Spurs!
See you later.